Bitch better have my, bitch better have my, bitch better have my, bitch better have my. I call a shot, shot, shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Like blah, blah, blah. Like blah, blah, blah. I call a shot, shot, shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Pay me what you want. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my. Like blah, blah, blah. Bitch better have my money.
Oh, bitch, better have my money. What's up, everybody? Good evening to you all. How are we doing today? Can I get a mic check? And can I get some trees in the motherfucking chat? Because we have not been live in, bro, how long has it been? I don't even, it's been like, shut up. Tell these guys to shut up. Hold on. Shut these guys up real quick. I haven't been live in a hot minute, guys. It has been like, I don't even know, 10 days or something? It's been like 10 days or something like that of me not being live. So welcome me being back to you guys. How is everybody doing? How have you all been, man? It's been a hot minute. Shouts out to Jet, who's finally in the stream. Let me say hello. I missed you guys, man. I missed you guys. We're gonna be going back. We're gonna be back on live this week, every day again. But I just been working on things in the Nexus, and you know, I haven't really like. There hasn't really been too much going on, and I've been doing my small videos, my short videos. You guys are liking my 1-minute videos. So I'm hoping that, first of all, I'm hoping that my hairline will fucking fix itself ever. Let's pretend like there's, that it doesn't look like that. See, there you go. See that? Now it's all good. You just got to cover it up. Hold on. It's getting hot as shit in here, man. Let me say hi to you. I'm going to say hi to all of you. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I am not in any trades right now, so I'm hoping that we can take a scalp together. I gotta take this off, man. It is too hot. I am absolutely not in any position right now, and I am hoping that we can get some volatility here, because I'm hoping that we can get into some positions, and I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to go. I got my TA. I am ready to go. We're gonna watch this debate, hopefully have some laughs and make some dollars together. We'll go over the TA here, because a lot of you guys are like, Geo, we want to know what's up. We want to know what's up. And I'm like, guys, man, I would love to say that things are different, but nothing's really different. But let me say hi to the chat real quick. Let me say what's popping to you guys. The very top comment I can't see, sadly, but hello to whoever that is. Daily Dose, what's up, brother? Silosis says, Gio, what am I looking at? What am I seeing? Small pump to 59K, potentially to all-time high, and then wipe out billions. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Cizacito, what's up, my brother? How are you doing? Says pump it to 100K with my liquidity. Brother, if I had liquidity to move the market, believe me, this perma bear ain't pumping it up. We're going down. If I could move it, it would be down. Never been more hyped for a debate. This should be interesting. Yeah, man. I think it should be interesting as well. And shouts out to our autistic stable up for 30K. The greatest name in crypto, might I add. Shouts out to you, broski. Says, I hope this camel chick will cry. I hope she'll cry too, man. I hope she'll cry too. Alex is in the chat. Says, I'm here for my 5'3" giant. Alex, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the text just now. Guys, Alex just texted me to make sure that I was okay because I haven't been on YouTube. That's a real friend, man. That's a real friend. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, well, nice. We're getting some trees. We're getting some trees in the chat. Man, I actually missed being live. I got to make my volume louder because I feel like I need volume. It's like weird when it's quiet. It's weird. I don't like it. All right. Yeah, bro. We're about to watch the debate. Trade Intuition, what's up? Jason, what's up? Spring Nowo, what's up? Jet, what's up? Phil's Findings, what's up? Nightshade, what's poppin'? Sushim, how are you, my brother? Shouts out to you, man. Thank you for watching at 3 a.m., bro. Sammy, what's poppin'? Only Jared, what's good? LM, Tim, Monkey Cub, what's up, Cub? What's up, blood? Raven says, hey, just the guy who won your order blocks bootcamp. Man, I gotta say, you have changed my trading. Thank you for everything, brother. I am so happy. I am so happy that the bootcamp changed things for you. And as you can see, I'm ready, man. I'm locked and loaded with these order blocks, ready to go. So we'll see what happens here with the scalping. But I'm very glad that I've been able to impact you, my brother. So God bless. Keep killing it. And, you know, that's all. Gio, am I going to do a Bitcoin rap? I'm not going to do a Bitcoin rap. I can't rap, guys. I mean, I can rap, but I can't freestyle. And, I don't know, man. I have a song. Listen, I wrote a song for if and when Bitcoin inevitably, in my opinion, goes to, if Bitcoin goes to 40K, like I hope it does and like I want it to, I have a rap ready to, or not a rap, I have a song cover that I wrote. I haven't recorded it yet. Like, ready to shit on everybody that's been shitting on me. So, but I have to wait for a price to do what I want in order for me to actually post it. I'm waiting though, man. I'm waiting. I'm like a hater, waiting for it to drop. And as soon as it does, I got the mega bear content. Guys, I'm just going to tell you this, man. Bear content is so much more fun to make than bull content. Let me just say that. What's up, bro? Etime, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, bro. When super cycle? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. John Castro says 3 hits to the high. Bruno, you missed nothing, bro. I just started. A win for Trump is a win for crypto. I actually have mixed feelings about that, dude. I don't know if Trump winning is good for crypto. I actually don't know, because this is my argument. And listen, I'm not trying to be a hater, but you know, we can talk about it. Here's what I think, bro. I think that Bitcoin, okay, I think that Trump getting behind Bitcoin is bearish, because Bitcoin goes, like, crypto goes against everything that the government stands for. So I made a YouTube short. Let's actually watch the YouTube short. Let me just let Past Me explain it, because it's way better. Under my umbrella, Ella, Ella. Here, look. I made this, like, YouTube short. This is my thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like, this is just my thought. You tell me. Number one, many people are waiting for the Black Swan event. Well, that already happened. Trump getting shot in the ear was a Black Swan event. Three unpopular opinions. Number one, many people are waiting for the Black Swan event. Well, that already happened. Trump getting shot in the ear was a Black Swan event, and that was your Black Swan event to the upside. It was the last manipulated pump before a much-needed correction. Number two, speaking of Trump, the U.S. and Trump getting behind crypto is a very bearish thing for crypto, because crypto stands for everything that goes against what the government stands for, which is privacy, self-sufficiency, and being your own bank. And number three, the rate cuts are very bearish for Bitcoin as well, because historically speaking, when you have rate cuts and you're in a recession, that is bearish for your asset. And we all know that we're in a recession. So that's my opinion. You know, I even made the video as 3 unpopular opinions. Now, I'm not the most, like, economically guru savvy person, but I just feel like that is what makes sense to me. So perhaps like, it's not as bullish as everyone thinks if Trump gets behind Bitcoin. That's just what makes sense in my head. Anyways, that's what I think. Abby, no, I doubt that they will talk about crypto. I highly doubt that they will talk about crypto. Damn, we need it. You know what? Listen, if I get to 125 likes tonight, then perhaps I will sing it live for you guys. Perhaps I will sing it live. All right, let's get the debate up though. What time is it? It starts now, right? I hope this is the right channel. Let's go over Bitcoin real quick. You guys probably want to know about Biddy real quick first. Okay, so MCB, first of all, I find it very hard to believe that we're not going to come to Monday's high. That's number one, right? We put in Monday's high yesterday. I find it very unlikely that at this point we are we're not going to take Monday's high. Okay, so obviously the first short we're looking for is here. Now I'm gonna, oh, hold on, let me disclaimer you guys. Disclaimer: all content presented is a complete joke and should not be taken seriously. Geo is an incompetent 5'2" and 3/4" wannabe singing non-financial advisor. Crypto's a scam. Making money online is impossible. Global warming is real and the earth is flat. Viewer discretion is advised. What that means, my friends, what that means is I'm going to tell you when I enter my trade. You need to know two things. Number one, I am in no way, shape, or form endorsing you or trying to persuade you to take the same trade as I do. As I just indicated, I am a 5'2" and 3/4" wannabe singing non-financial advisor. So you should not copy me because my win rate is 0%. So don't ever listen to me. That's number one. Now, number two, you also need to understand that you guys are on a delay. Okay. So if right now for me, price is 57627, for you, price might be, you know, not 57627. So just saying, but I will tell you if and when I enter and if we can get into a nice trade today. Now, do I expect some volatility? You never know with these events. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Last time we had a fake pump to the upside and then the market nuked last time Trump spoke. I very highly doubt that he's going to talk about crypto. Very highly doubt it, but you know, you never know. You never know. You never know. You hit the like button, promise not to sing. Well, if I get to 120, man, it's not just my ears, it's your ears that also, it's not just your ears, it's also my ears that have to bleed. This is just the way that the way it has to be, bro. It has to be this way. All right, just as much as I fuck with Trump, I will say, bro, been giving you weird feeling. You can't trust any of them, man. But the question is, like, you know, you can't trust any of them, bro. Can't trust any of them. You definitely can't trust Trump. I mean, yeah, you can't trust any of them. You can't trust Trump, and you definitely can't trust the camel, bitch. Can't trust either. If no new rate cut, then new all-time high. I don't know, bro. I'm a technical trader. I'm not a technical trader. I'm not a fundamental trader. I don't even know what the rate cuts mean or don't mean. I truly don't know. I don't know. Okay. What time frame will the invalidation be confirmed? So let me just say this, okay? These are kind of the setups like you guys get in the Nexus when you join. And then I give real-time updates, whatever. I'm not here to show the Nexus. We're just chilling today. We're gonna watch these guys. You know, we're gonna chill. I'm not even gonna talk. But basically, like, I don't enter here. Like, I don't just enter limit and then put my stop loss here. Like, I wait for confirmation. So whenever I get my confirmation, my stop will go wherever the invalidation is post confirmation. Right now, I am not a right now I'm not in a position. However, I do think that this low is going to go before this high. So I am expecting something like this. Potentially, if we get a confirmation here, I will enter, and I will enter a position that may look something like this. Something like that. And if I get my confirmation, then my stop goes beneath the low. If I do not get the confirmation that I want in this zone, then I look for it in this zone. If I do not see it here, then I look for it here, right? Now, obviously, given that, you know, there's about to be this debate, things can go wonky AF right now. And so while I stand by, I do think that we're going to touch this low before we touch this high. I also understand that anything news driven, like, which we're going to call this news driven, even though it's not news. Understand what I'm saying? Anything like this or politically driven can just make the price do anything at any time, whatever. It could literally just do this, or it could literally just do that if it wants to, right? But I do think that this line gets hit before this line. And then we'll see. If I get a trade here, then the invalidation will be below the low. We'll have to wait and see, right? So I will be taking the trades live. I will tell you when I take the trades, but remember the disclaimer, okay? Oh man, they're shaking hands. So we didn't even get to go over Biddy. Maybe we'll do it during the break. Let's see what these guys are talking about. What these children. I am their father. I am literally their father.
I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Here tonight, often.
By the way, if a trade comes up, I'm gonna shut these guys up, and we're gonna take the trade. We're gonna.
The economy,
we gotta work.
Do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid. and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
Just hear the 5'7".
Here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is
She
too
just said
expensive
short,
for
bro.
far too many
Bruno,
people.
she just said short.
We know that young
She said
families
shortage.
need
That's the
support
sign.
to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given
What's
in
up,
a long
Dak?
time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love
Wait,
our
Jet,
small
why are
businesses.
you
My plan is to give
Jet, why are you tweaking over Trump lately? Like, why is he giving you sus vibes?
businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is
Yeah, I
to do
can
what
make
he
it
has done
louder.
before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be
Is
a
this better?
20% tax
This is like
on
the
everyday
loudest
goods
I
that
can
you
even make
rely
it.
on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump
Is that
sales
better?
tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people
Oh, yeah.
paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
Well, bro, Israel
Trump
like
will give you 2
controls the U.S.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases.
If
I took
Biddy
in
does,
billions and
yeah, I
billions
will.
of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before.
Flash
Probably
crash?
the
Yeah,
worst in our
maybe.
nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous
Yo,
because
if
many
you
things are
guys-
50,
hold
60,
on.
70, and 80%.
If you guys want me to like spend 5 minutes and just give you a quick macro on Biddy, give me a 1 in the chat. If you want me to just keep the debate on, give me a 2.
Jails from mental institutions and insane asylums.
It'll be quick, like 5 minutes.
And they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that Xi and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the
What?
highest
Okay.
level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast.
Okay.
One of
All
the
right, let's
greatest
go over it real
economies
quick.
in the history of our country.
Shut up, Orange Man. Let's go over it real quick. Okay, we're gonna move him out of the way for now too. Okay, real quick. By the way, I just saw a comment about the funding rates, and I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, funding rates are negative, but just don't trade based on that in itself. Keep in mind that this entire move up for the past 2 years, funding rates minus the range that we've been in for 6 months now, the entire move up, funding rates were so incredibly positive by so much the whole time, and they kept going higher. I'm not saying that they're not going to come for the high. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you can't just base completely your bias based off of that metric alone for that reason. Okay, I'm going to go over Biddy real quick, okay? Guys, right above where we're at right now, we have a 12-hour order block that has your down volume point of control, your entire range point of control, and your naked daily point of control. This high is a very important high. This changes your higher term time frame structure, okay? This is an important high. We need to close, I would say, a daily candle above 59 to essentially expect a higher low to then make a higher high, okay? Now, in the more macro of it, I guess local macro, you guys know on YouTube, I've been saying we need an accumulation, we need an accumulation. Well, we are getting signs now of an accumulation. This could be your tap 1, this could be your tap 2, and this could be your tap 3. My only concern with this being tap 3 is tap 2 did not break even any internal structure. Tap 2 didn't do shit, which means we are better off assuming that tap 1 is going to be lower, or that it's going to be a model 1. Like tap 3 is going to be lower. It's going to be down here. Now, is that a fact 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, you know, it didn't break this high. So if it broke that high, and then we came down here, I would say, okay, we got to start longing the farm. I don't yet think it's time to long the farm yet. If we take this high, then we can talk about it. Until then, we're not macro bullish yet. Now, if we just blast up, which is absolutely possible because we have all this liquidity, then, you know, you got to try to do your best to get into a position like we're going to try to get into right now, for example, especially if you can scalp, then it's good because you can get in from realistically anywhere. So it doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't really matter like where, like you can get in from anywhere if you know how to scalp, basically is my point, which is what I'm going to try to illustrate here. But that is in the macro, okay? This could be the accumulation to send you to, I don't know if it's going to take you to all-time highs, truly. There is a lot of liquidity up there. We could. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying I don't know, okay? I don't know. And I'm not convinced just yet. Now, more locally, as we all know, even locally speaking, we have not accumulated down here. We're leaving this same shitty liquidity line that we leave every single time. So right now, my bias, my narrative is that if they decide to pump today, or if they decide to pump tomorrow or whatever for the rest of the week, I think that Thursday is midweek reversal. And I think as of now, especially if we hit this guy and we tap here, we get our distribution, then we're going to see these lower ranges, especially because, or this lower level, especially because A, we have a lot of liquidity beneath, and B, we front ran this order block. I made a video. So this was the exact 786, and I was like, do I think that they're going to hit a 786 and go to all-time high from here? No. That was like exactly word for word what I said, and I don't think that they're going to. I do still think that this block is destined. I do think we will see 52K again. And so if you get this confirmation up here, and you get that flip on a higher time frame, let's say a 30-minute flip, then in my opinion, you're coming down to at least like sweep these lows. So you could get a nice W formation even here within your larger W formation. Now, understanding that, we need one more thing to go over, and then my kind of analysis here is over. But the last thing that you guys need to know, if I can get rid of these scribbles, the last thing that you need to know is that locally here we have our range, okay? You have a local range here internally as well. We're just ranges within ranges within ranges, okay? Here's your tap 1. We are anticipating a potential tap 2 right now, which would be a sweep of this high. After this tap 2, I think we could either bounce off of this guy, we could bounce off of this guy, we could even SFP this low, and then potentially come back up for tap 3. Now, if this happens, this is going to complete a Model 1 distribution, and in the event that this happens, if you break low time frame structure like that, you're likely going to come down to here, and then if you break that structure down, this Model 3 or Model 1 distribution rather completes, and I believe that the objective of this Model 1 distribution is to come back and mitigate at the very least this order block that we now have inducement on. So I think if this happens, this is the play that's going to take you down to here or going to take you lower. It depends on what structure is doing. It depends on how things look. It depends on if we distribute there. It depends on maybe we just blast up. I don't know. But right now, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm not predicting, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm not saying it has to happen. But what I am saying is that if I see the signs that I want to see, whether it's news or whether it's positive funding rates or whether it's Trump or whether it's Harris or whatever else, that is a distribution. And if I get the confirmation on that distribution, not only am I shorting it, but I'm shorting it down to these lows and I'm shorting it to potentially even lower. That is my analysis. Was that good enough? And by the way, right now, a lot of people think that it's going to squeeze up, and it absolutely can. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that it cannot do this. No way. Like, and if I did think that, I wouldn't have levels here. I wouldn't have levels here. And I have levels even higher than here. Okay. 66K is my golden short zone. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to long. I'm not saying that, again, that it has to go down. I'm not saying that, but I am prepared for all scenarios, and the game is simple. When you see the confirmation in the zone, you take the trade. If you don't see the confirmation, you do not take the trade. And it's as simple as that. No bias. Don't care if it goes up. Don't care if it goes down. Don't care if Biden. Don't care if Harris wins. Don't care if Trump wins. You know, as objective as can be, I literally don't care if it goes up or down. I am numb to it. It is numbers on a screen at the end of the day. All right, let's unmute these hooligans.
That we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end.
We don't predict, man. I used to predict, and for what? If it does this, I do this. If it does that, I do that. Simple.
Is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID? Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point. When we know that she was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well.
We have
when you look
bearish
at what she's
absorption here, by
done
the
to
way.
our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21.
Virus,
That's
yeah.
bigger than New York State pouring in.
Dude,
and
we're
just
done with
look at
that
what they're
shit,
doing
like-
to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about
Am I
immigration
going
later.
to use MC?
Well, bad immigration is the worst
Yeah.
thing that can happen.
I might. So there's two ways to enter. You can enter aggressively using Market Cipher, or you can enter based on structure. I kind of do both.
See, that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill
Oh,
Roe
really?
v. Wade
Wow.
last year.
666 days? That's crazy. Wait, is September 18th the day that they're doing the cuts?
Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor
Damn, you
of
guys
West
are mad
Virginia, not the
delayed. I
current
asked
governor,
that like
is
a
doing an
whole
excellent
minute
job.
ago.
But the governor before, he said the baby will be
I'll be
born,
back. I'm gonna go get
and
water.
we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, Every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio?
Man, look at how he talks with like his bottom teeth out. Like,
Than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next.
This bitch is so stupid.
That is immoral.
Women are supposed to be nurturing,
and
she's like for literally murdering children
or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban, because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter, because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a
Come on, baby, hit my line,
well,
baby.
I won't have to, because again, 2 things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50, essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got
Come on, baby. By the way, I
with this whole thing about this whole idea.
So
and how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they lost to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans.
Good.
They
I hope it
taunted
dumps.
young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact
Nice.
is that for years they wanted to
we
get
gotta
it
be-
out of
we gotta be
Congress and
careful,
out of the
bro,
federal government.
because
And we did
I
something
do
that
think we're gonna
everybody
get
said
like
couldn't
this.
be done. And now you have a
Hit
vote
that.
of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and,
Daily
and
dose?
asking for an abortion.
Daily dose. I can't take a woman serious in fucking deciding where to go get lunch, let alone running a country. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real.
And
Like, who are we joking? And they know also. Like, we're not being misogynist. They fucking know.
happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in.
They provide
I've been a leader
liquidity,
on it.
yeah.
They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question, would you veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and
Alright,
probably
alright,
after
come
birth.
on,
Just
TP.
look at the governor, former governor of Virginia.
TP
the
me.
governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside, and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that
I
illegal
have
border
my- I
crossings
have my
reached a
vectors
record
here.
high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have
Now, the
dropped
question is, did they
significantly.
sweep the
But my
law?
question to you
What is this
tonight is
line?
why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have
they
done
sweep
anything
that?
differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage
No,
who has
they didn't sweep
prosecuted
it.
transnational criminal organizations
But I'm gonna
for the
increase the
trafficking
box,
of
but they didn't
guns,
sweep it.
drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents
Coinbase
on the
swept
border to
it.
help
I
those
hate when
folks
they
who are
have
working there right
discrepancies
now
like this.
overtime trying to
I
do
hate
their
it.
job. It would have allowed us to
Coinbase
stem
took
the
the
flow
low.
of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing.
Oh,
to
a lot of
watch.
them didn't take it.
You will
What's
see
Eth
during
doing?
the course of his
Oh, look at
rallies, he
Eth.
talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also
Yeah, we're
notice
going
is
down,
that people
boys.
start
We're going
leaving his
down.
rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
We're going
You
down.
will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and
We're gonna
your
come take
your
these.
desires. And I'll tell you, I
Eth is
believe
gonna
you
come take this.
deserve a president who
going
actually puts
down.
you first. And I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies.
My stream is
She said
delayed?
people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go.
Let's see if there's
and
a better
the people
one.
that do go, she's busing them
come
in
into
and
our
paying
country
them to be
and
there.
look
Look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora
Okay,
or
let's try this
Springfield.
one.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within
Bro,
the immigrant
Eth is going
community.
so,
Well, I've seen people
we're
on
going so
television.
Let me just say
down.
here,
We're going
this is the
so
People on
down.
television say my dog was taken and
We're going
used for
so
food.
down.
So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit.
Oh, wow, look at us dumping.
His
Nice.
former Secretary of Defense has said the nation,
Yeah,
the
we're going
Republic,
down.
would
We're going
never
down.
survive another Trump term.
This is a Model 1
And when we
distribution. Basically
listen
what I was saying,
to this kind
what I
of
wanted to see on
rhetoric,
Bitcoin.
when the
Model
issues
1
that affect
distribution
the
confirmed
American
right there.
people
We're
are
we're
not
hitting
being
this.
addressed,
Eth is
I
coming down
think the
here.
choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond
Yeah.
here.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people
I'm no longer interested in
who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family.
We have all this
They
liquidity
didn't
below
fire.
as
They
well.
should have fired all those generals, all
I'm
those
already
top
short.
people,
I was
because
short
that was
before
one
the
of the most
stream from here.
incompetently handled situations anybody
But I'll
has
find us
ever
a
seen.
short.
So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they. But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you.
Man, it's fine.
But just
It
to
has
finish,
all this
I got more
liquidity
votes
below. Like, I
than any
wouldn't be surprised if
Republican
we just
in
ripped the whole
history
thing.
by far.
I'm surprised that they didn't
In fact,
come for this
I
earlier
got more votes
today,
than any
to be honest
president,
with
sitting
you.
president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you
To
wanted
be
to talk
honest,
about
they make
earlier,
the
so let's get
shorts
back
so
to your
easy, man.
deportation proposal.
You know, I gotta say, I've been shorting way more than I've been longing because they don't make the longs easy. They never sweep liquidity, and the shorts, like, Because they never sweep the long liquidity, the shorts is so easy. Like they could literally just, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but they could just rip all the way down, take all this. They could come and take all this so easily, so easily. This is what happens when you don't accumulate. You know, it's the same shit every time, every time.
Criminals, many millions of criminals.
Yeah, I'm no
They
longer
allowed
interested in
terrorists.
this guy
They
either
allowed
now. Done.
common street criminals.
mean,
they allowed people to come in, drug dealers
Yeah,
to come
done.
into our country, and they're now in the United
Now
States.
retail's gonna
and
long this
told
line.
by
It's not
their
gonna do
countries
anything,
like
and they're gonna
Venezuela,
rinse all
don't
this.
ever
This
come
is-
back,
this is
or we're
done
going
now.
to
We're
kill
done.
you. Do you know that crime
Unless
in
there's something
Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow.
it's done.
And I
It's
think
done.
they probably
They're gonna
did it
come
because they
take
think
these
they're going to
lows
get
now.
votes. But it's
We're
not
gonna come
worth
down
it
to here. I'm gonna
because
TP down
they're
here.
destroying the fabric of our
56-2.
country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let
gonna
in,
happen
and
quick,
all
guys.
over the
It's gonna
world,
be really quick here, right
crime
now.
is down all over the
gonna be
world
literally
except
right now.
here.
It's gonna go
Crime here is up and through the roof, despite their fraudulent statements that they made. Crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris, I'll
FBI
give you
they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Just
Once you
like their
take
number
these
of
two lows, it's
818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted
Dude,
for
ETH is coming down to here.
national security
Man, you see how
crimes,
all you gotta do is
economic
follow the
crimes,
smart money?
election interference,
Break
has been
down you
found
go.
liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
Shut
And let's
up,
be
bitch.
clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for, address what we must
I'm
do
hearing
to
you,
support
baby
our
girl.
small businesses, address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases,
Yeah,
it's
I
called
don't think this is gonna
weaponization.
do anything.
Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has
I don't think
openly
this line
said
is gonna
he
do
would
anything.
terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the
Literally, I don't think
Constitution
it's
of the
gonna do
United
anything.
States.
I think we're gonna
that
fall
he
right
would
through it.
weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails. Because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people.
Vice President
stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every one of at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production
that's big
in
volume
history
coming down
because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil.
Did I short the news?
As it
No, I
relates
don't
to my
short
values,
news.
let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother who worked and saved
This is volume
and
on
was
the
able
down
to buy
candle,
our first
bro,
home
not
when
on
I
the
was
up.
a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands the strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your
Well,
response?
first of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out
Yo,
in
listen,
Minnesota
guys, low key.
and wanted to let criminals that killed people,
Low-key.
that burned down Minneapolis,
Low-key.
she went out and raised money
Smash
to get
her
them out of
path.
jail. She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won
What
the
is
election,
fracking? Can somebody tell
in
me what
Pennsylvania
fracking
will
is?
end on day one. Just to finish, one thing so important in my opinion. So I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these
caught the
guys
vector?
go
Nice.
to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling.
Like
you saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump.
There's no
but if she won the election, the day after that election,
it's so hard to
they'll
get
go
used
back
to,
to
but I
destroying
can't
our country,
sleep.
and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar. But they take
That's funny.
400, 500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that
for
we
the
have to get to.
environment,
We're
as she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days. And I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol.
A question.
You said you would be right there with them.
I have a question. I'm Canadian, okay, before you guys think I'm stupid. I know Biden, like, stepped out of the race. Did he step down as the president? Like, is the camel bitch the president right now, or is it still Biden? Or does she automatically, like, take over? I actually don't even know.
Said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, oh, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America? They're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world. And crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle? They went into Seattle. They took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
But let me just ask
you. You might ask her that question.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi. But I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah, I was looking to short it, but we actually have a breaker.
I was
so
also
everybody
an
is
acting
probably waiting to get back on a retest.
And on that
no
day,
one's expecting this breaker
President
block.
of the United States
this breaker is absolutely
mob
here. You can see it. Look at that reaction off this breaker right there.
Our nation's capital. To desecrate our nation's capital.
Reaction.
On that day,
oh God, dude, this is
law enforcement officers
we're coming.
were injured.
I think we're coming down.
And some died. And
look
understand,
at that breaker, though.
The former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country,
she
to
kind of looks
stand
like
for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking
she
the
kind of looks like an
foundations of our
uglier,
democracy
blacker
because you don't
version
like
of
the
J-Lo.
outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate,
Like way
has said in
uglier.
this election there will be a bloodbath.
And way blacker.
If this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking, let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different term,
Bro,
and it
we
was a
respect
term
the fib.
that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, on Charlottesville,
Yeah,
that
but that
story
wasn't
has
a
been, as you
fib.
would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity,
look at that fib.
Jesse,
They didn't
all
hit
of
the
these
fib. They
people,
rejected off
they
before
covered
the
it.
fib.
If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this. You
Yeah,
talk about
exactly.
the Capitol. Why are we allowing
She's
these
Jenny from the
millions of
Block.
people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time.
J-Lo,
Go
for the
down
record,
to,
like,
she's been
J-Lo's
so
a
bad, it's so
smoke
ridiculous.
show.
Go down to Washington,
kinda like-
D.C.
I don't know
and
why
let her
I see
sign a
it.
bill
Like,
to
she looks
close
like
up
an
the border
older,
because
uglier,
they have the
blacker
right to do
J-Lo.
it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The
Wait, let's see
president
what
of
this
the
bitch
United
looked
States,
like
you'll
when
get
she
him
was
out of
young.
bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say that.
sarcastically.
Oh, it's too
You know
loud
that.
now?
It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016.
Bro,
you
come
can't be beaten.
on.
The election,
Like, you can't even
people
tell
should
me I'm
never be
wrong for
thinking
that.
about it. An election is fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls. And we have to have it. We have to have borders.
Are you
and we have to have
fucking
good
kidding
elections.
me?
Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these
Come
pieces
on,
of video.
dude.
I didn't detect the
You
sarcasm,
can't tell
lost by
me
a
that
whisker,
they
we
don't
didn't
look
quite
this,
make it.
like,
And we should just point out here as
similar.
clarification, and you know this.
You
and your
guys,
allies,
you
60
can't tell me
cases
that. You can't
in front
tell
of
me
many
that.
judges, many of them
No
You
judge
Republican.
can't
looked at
tell
it
me
and said
that.
They said
No
we didn't have
widespread fraud.
standing.
Don't
That's
get me
the other
wrong.
thing.
Like, I would
They said we
never,
didn't
I
have
would never in a
standing,
million
technicality.
years.
Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you
Yeah,
look at the
J-Lo's
facts, and I'd
sexy,
love
dude.
to have
Look
you,
at
you'll do a
J-Lo. I'm gonna
special
make
on
J-Lo
it.
my
I'll
wallpaper,
show
bro.
you Georgia, and I'll show
like,
you
they're
Wisconsin,
not that
and I'll show
far.
you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials.
Okay, they're not the same.
He says
They're
will
not
be
the same.
prosecuted to
They're
the
not
fullest
the
extent
same.
of the law. which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top
They're not
lawyers
the
responded
same.
saying, "We won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote." Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
I just cursed
Donald
Bitcoin
Trump
for
was
life.
fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States.
This guy's fucking crazy.
And world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace.
The
And
trend
when
line
you
should
then
go
talk
away?
in
Which one? This one?
way In a presidential debate and deny what over and over
It's gonna
again
go
are
away.
court
Like, they're gonna
cases you
sweep
have
these lows.
lost because you did in fact lose that election. It leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact.
Shut
That's
up,
deeply
bro.
troubling,
Shut
and
the
the
fuck
American
up.
people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes.
Yeah, it was
What you
lagging a
did,
little bit.
You
I'm
talk
sorry.
about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but
Mr.
I'm
President,
okay with it
Mr.
because
President, your time is
I
up.
think we're
Thank
going to
you.
do very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages who are still being held, Americans among them.
By the way, I
Vice
suck
President
at
Harris,
chess.
In December, you said,
Yes,
quote,
I
Israel
suck
has a
at
right
chess.
to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how.
But I wanna get
saying
better at it.
international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the
I
stalemate.
suck at chess.
How would
Like,
you do
I'm
it?
really bad at it.
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that.
Yeah, if only it was
Work
that
around the
easy,
clock,
dumbass.
Also understanding that we must chart a course for a
You're
two-state
fighting like a
solution.
90-year
And in that
issue. It's not
solution,
just
there must
what
be
happened last October.
Security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran, and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people.
Yeah, guys, we're losing this line. We're coming down to here.
Understand what's going on over there.
We're coming down to
But
200.
when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party.
JC is in a
She
100K
hates
Trump
Israel.
pump long.
If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one.
No, we're coming
She
down to
hates
here.
Israel.
We're coming
At the
down
same
to
time, in her
200
own
at
way,
least.
She hates the Arab
At least.
population because the whole
What's ETH
place
doing? Are we
is
up
going to
right
get
now?
blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel. Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no
Spheres of
money.
terror.
It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that
Dude,
money
this
around.
guy's smoking me. I'm
Look at
getting
what's
wrecked right
happening
now.
with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators.
Take the pawn in
wants
front
to be a
of your
dictator on day
queen.
one, according to himself. It is well known that he said
How?
of Putin that
How do I take
he
it?
can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine.
Don't worry, bro.
It
They're
is
going to
well
keep
known
longing
that
the
he
line.
said
The
when
line's going to get
Russia went
fucking
into
rinsed right
Ukraine,
now.
It was brilliant.
Patience, my
It
brother.
is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un.
This line is going.
And it is
It's going.
absolutely well known
Gonna go bye-bye.
that these dictators and autocrats are rooting
Wait, did he go?
for you to be president again because they're so clear.
Wait, why wouldn't he take
they
that?
can
That's weird.
manipulate you with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace. That is why we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single
Oh,
biggest
shit, he's
deal
gonna take
that
this.
Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to
That's a
Germany and all over Europe?
problem.
Because they're weak and they're ineffective.
That
and Biden,
is
by the way,
a
gets paid a lot of
problem. Oh,
money.
you know what?
Thank
I'll
we have
just
a lot of
fork him.
issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
That's less of a problem now.
The ABC News presidential debate will
Now, if he
continue
takes this,
after
it'll be, what is it called when it's like check through a character? Oh, he didn't take that one? Okay, whatever. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, no. I could do this. Yeah, I'll do that. Because now he'll take it, or he'll take this, and then I'll get another piece. So I'm actually up on this exchange. Ha! Dumbass. Trying to fuck with me? What are you gonna do now, boy? What you gonna do now, boy? 1 minute div? I don't think this... I'm telling you guys, I don't think this is gonna do shit, bro. I don't think it's gonna do anything. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Oh, wow, he went for it. Okay. No problem. I'll just take your bishop, brother. And then I'll take your sad pawn. Oh, he took my pawn? Okay, I don't care about it. Now, what are we doing here? What's the play here, boys? What's the play? Do we take the pawn? We could... No, we can't take that pawn. Should we roll out here? I think we... Do we take the pawn? I think we go for the pawn. Do we take the middle pawn or do we take... No, we're going to take the middle pawn. Because if we move the king here, the knight here, then he's going to go here. Then he had two targets and I couldn't save them both. Get his queen. I got his queen. His queen is dead. Okay, now he's protecting his pawn. That's okay with me. I'm okay with that. We can just roll out. And he can't move... Oh, he can move his knight out. We don't want him to move his knight, right? How do we protect the knight? If I move the knight here, he can't move his knight out. Let's do that. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Is my VIP group active daily? Yeah, bro. They're in there literally. We're all in there 24/7. We're in there literally 24/7. I give updates like 15 times a day when there's things to update. Like, I'm very active in there. I'm very, very active. Middle pawn? Yeah, but then he could have had two of my thing. He could have had two of my characters. No, this is better now. Because look, now I'm trapping. Now I get his knight. Now I get his knight no matter what. His knight is mine next turn. And if he moves the pawn forward, then I'll just take it with my bishop. And then I'll still get the knight. He can't save the knight now. The knight is mine. What did he do? Oh, he's doing that. Oh, that's kind of a... What a fag. Okay, we'll just delay me taking the knight then. I'm okay. I'm running out of time, man. Oh my God. I'm running out of time. I'm gonna get your knight. I'm gonna get your knight. I need to get his that. That's what I need. I need to take that thing. The rook. The rook. Come on, make a blunder. Okay, I'll take that. Oh, I just blundered. Oh, no, I didn't. My horsey's defending it. Okay, good horsey. I'm running out of time, though. He has to move the rook. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'll just take the knight now. I'm okay with that. Don't like how he did that. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Give me that. Okay, I'll take that all day. That's fine. I'm running out of time. Oh, I should have took it with the horsey. I'm so stupid. Come on, make a blunder. Don't see it. Don't see it. Don't move the rook. Don't move the rook. Don't move the rook. Man. He moved the rook. All right, let's start getting this this out. I'll trade. I don't care. I'll trade the rook. Let's see if I could fork him.
David Muir and Lindsay
Oh,
Davis.
this is it. He's
Welcome
gonna
back to
blunder
this
here. I'm gonna
historic
fork
ABC
his rook and his
presidential
king.
debate tonight. We're gonna
He's gonna
continue here, and
move.
I want to turn to the war
Oh!
in Ukraine. We're now 2.5
What
years
did I say?
into this
Let's
conflict.
go.
Mr.
Give me the
President,
fucking
it has been the
rook.
position of the Biden
You
administration
stupid little
that we must
boy.
defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty,
Yeah,
their democracy, that it's in
baby.
America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin
Boom.
wins,
Who wants a
he may be
chess
emboldened to
boot
move even
camp?
further into other
Who
countries.
wants a
You have said you would
motherfucking
solve this war in
chess? Wait,
24
hold on,
hours.
hold on,
You
hold
said
on, hold
so
on.
just before the break tonight. How exactly
No, I don't
would
have
you do
checkmate.
that?
Okay.
And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing
Hold on,
done
I'm gonna answer
than
all
we
your
are.
questions here.
They're in for $150 billion
I'll tell you
less
exactly
because
what
Biden
it is.
and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid
Take the
billions
king.
and
Well,
billions,
he's not
hundreds of
going. Is the
billions
game
of dollars
over?
when I said either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one
Oh,
of the
he just
reasons
didn't
they
go
don't
yet. Okay.
like me as much as they like weak people. But
Hold on,
take a
hold
look
on.
at
I'll
what's
answer the
happening.
VIP
We're in for
questions as soon as I
250
fucking
to
destroy this guy's
275
entire
billion.
family.
They're into 100 to 150.
Wait, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I will do it again. I will explain the VIP. Let me just destroy this guy.
Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating.
Mr.
It
Trump,
must be a good,
Mr.
strong
Orange
point of
Man.
negotiation. Well, it was.
Silence. Silence. All right. Real quick. Let's go over the VIP, okay? Let's go over the Nexus real quick. Let's talk about the Nexus, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what goes down here. When you sign up for the Nexus, you have access to the Nexus channels. In the Nexus channels, you have my high time frame analysis. First of all, every morning I do VIP at 8 a.m. EST, a VIP stream for the Nexus, okay? I give my positions, I give my levels, I give my scenarios. I spend about an hour every morning. I say, okay, I think this is going to happen because this, and I build the narrative and it all makes sense. I have an altcoin channel, which to be honest, I haven't really been looking at too many altcoins lately, but I have an altcoin channel. The value, well, additional value is the real-time channel. So here's what happens, okay? I have my levels, and then when it's real time, okay? When it's real time, like look at how right now we're on YouTube, okay? And I'm telling you, I was telling you that I think this low is going to go before here, that these are the positions I'm looking for. These were the order blocks. Oh, that was a breaker, whatever, okay? The real-time updates I give all the time, and I'm in there updating, like today alone. I mean, today there wasn't really much price action, but I update this thing like 5 times a day. You know, like if there's movement 10 times a day. And we will basically discuss my narrative, right, from the morning. So I have my levels, and then when we get to one of those levels, you know, the chat kind of starts talking, and they're like, okay, is it time to enter or whatever? And when I give my levels, I say that this is what I'm looking for. For example, I'm looking for this, right? So I don't actually tell you, okay, I'm in, put the stop here, whatever. But what I do is I'll have, for example, I'll show you an example right now. I'll show you an example. Right where we are currently, this thing is so laggy. I'm going to have to get off stream soon. Let's pretend this is a zone, which it actually is a long zone, okay? And let's just say that I want to see a 5 to 10, that's not a 5 to 10 market structure flip as my confirmation in here, okay? When we get here, I will update you guys. No, this is what I want to see. This is how I want market cipher to look. This is the structure that I want, whatever. If I decide in the moment that I don't like the 10-minute structure and I prefer the 15-minute structure, then I will tell you guys why. I will tell you guys that, and I will tell you why. Then upon the confirmation, I tell you we guard our flip. And then at that point, you can either enter there with your stop there, and you guys know this, like I tell you this, or we can wait to potentially try to get a better risk to reward upon a mitigation of an order block with imbalance at the lows. If you don't know what that means, which you probably don't if you've been trading for only 1 month, you will learn the terminology over time, okay? Other groups say it's an educational group and whatever, but I don't leave you guys in the dark. I am very much so, metaphorically, in the trenches with you guys. I'm in there all the time. I'm explaining everything all the time. Feel free, you guys always send me messages. I send voice notes. I do video updates. And it's all learning exercises in real time as well. Like I tell you, for example, right now, I think they're going to run this liquidity. I don't think that this line is going to hold at all, because if you look at other assets, especially Ethereum, Ethereum had a nice Model 1 distribution at the high on the 10-minute time frame, followed by the break, came up, hit a breaker block, and then down we go. Do I think that a retail trend line is going to hold up all that I just explained? No, I don't think that. Now, I'm not always right. Nobody ever is always right. However, I'm teaching you guys the narrative building behind trading, and that is what's going to give you real confidence with your trades later. Now, I also have market cipher strategies, and and people in the Discord utilize them, like my cheat sheet entry, for example. And I have in the past debunked a very clear market cipher signal because the narrative doesn't line up with the market cipher chart. So again, I'm not always right. No way. Nobody ever is. However, when I am right, which lately I've been more right than not, but when I am right, you understand why I'm right. Okay, I don't just say, yeah, the market cipher looks like it's gonna go up here. I don't just do that. I build a whole story behind it, so you very much so really get to understand my thinking, my thought process, and you're understanding essentially why I think this, why I think that. And then on top of that, you get here I am in this zone. This is what I'm looking for. I originally said I wanted this. Now I don't want this. Now I want that. This is why I'm changing it to now. And then I say, okay, guys, we saw what we wanted to see. I don't at everyone and say, we're going in, like I'm going in right now. Sometimes in the chat I do. But for the most part, I say, this is what I want to see. And I'll draw it out. Like, we'll get a confirmation. I will literally draw this exactly. I'll say, okay, guys, we saw what we wanted to see. Now we're waiting for this. I will literally narrow it down to like $100 zone. And I will literally do this. And I will literally put the stop here. And I will literally send it up to here. And I'll be like, nice, 13 risk to reward. I'll add everyone. The only thing I don't do is I don't say I'm in. Like, I don't say, here's my limit order. Like, this is what I show you. This is exactly what you get. Exactly this. And then if we get it, we're all like, it's up to you guys to pay. I just can't tell you now. I can't say that because that's not going to serve anybody well. Anyways, I'm proud of the product that it is. I'm proud on how it's developed over time. I'm very proud of it. And I'm very happy with the current state of it. But that is essentially the nexus, okay? You get a lot. And it's that every day. Like, it's not really, the only time I don't stream in the morning is if everything is literally the exact same. And one more thing I'm going to add real quick is that, and I don't even like to shill it. Like, you guys shill it for me. But one more thing I want to add real quick is I give updates at all times of the day. Like, I'm EST, but I don't really sleep well. So, for example, like yesterday, I gave this update at 3:30 in the morning, and it's not unusual for me to give updates at 3:30. Look at this, right? We're waiting for a BOS line, and then I say three minute has officially flipped because these guys know. Look, actually, perfect example. Look at this, right? Waiting for BOS line to break definitively on the 3 minute, which is the highest acceptable structure. We're also filling that weird gap, whatever, and then I say we flipped. Then it's up to you. Like, I tell you what I want to see, and then I tell you when I see it. But I don't say I'm going in right this very second. Sometimes I do, but it's not common. And it's not like something that, yeah, it's not common that I do that. But anyways, that is the nexus, basically. Okay, let's see what you said. Is Crypto Faces Discord good? I don't know. I'm not in it. I don't really know. Is his just the is it the market cipher one, or does he have his own? I actually genuinely don't know. I'm in the market cipher ones, but I'm in the market cipher one, but I don't know if that's the one that he like if that's the one you're talking about. And I don't even enter any Discord that is not mine. Like I'm too caught up in mine. I don't see I don't see the others. I don't really pop in on the other ones. And then not only that, one more thing is you get the whole, like, everybody that's in here, you know? We're all on the same path. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to practice discipline. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. Jennifer Aniston? Hell yeah. Anyway. At the beginning of the stream, you said you wasn't in a trade. Then you said you was. Just wondering when I got in. Yeah, so, okay, when I said I wasn't in one, I meant, like, okay. Let me rephrase, because I did say that, and it wasn't meant to be that. I was in a trade from earlier today. I shorted here. I was still in that same trade, but it wasn't a big position. It isn't a big position, and it wasn't a notable position, like, to even discuss. When I meant to say, not what I meant to say, but what I mean to say is I'm looking for new trades. That's a better way to put it. I am looking to take a trade. We had potential trade ideas that they ripped through all the order blocks. So now we're waiting for here. If we can get here, then I will take a trade, and I will tell you when I took a trade. But I'm not taking one yet. I'm not longing this trend line. If this trend line takes you to 100K, great. I'm not longing this trend line. But I was in from earlier. Like, I was in from before the stream. I was in at like 3 o'clock. And by the way, in case you want to know, this was the easiest SFP, and they even gave you a confirmation. You had a beautiful confirmation here. Because this was your structure. This was like the cleanest SFP you could ever ask for. Right there. 2-minute structure break. Came in to retest that new range-based supply, and then down you go. It took a little bit longer than I expected and than I wanted, but it was an easy SFP. That's why when I started the stream, one of the first things I said was, I think we're going to touch this line before we touch this line. That was like in the first like 5 minutes I said that. That's why, because of that SFP. And then sure enough, here we are now. So anyways, let's bring on our boy Donnie back.
Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm
I
asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black.
Cryptoface showed his face. I saw. It was also weird for me.
And then
I've also never seen his
black,
face, for the record.
And that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who
can't even speak.
wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that. want better than this. Want someone who
Whale group
understands
is
as I
dead?
do, I travel our country. We see in each other
I've never
a
been in
friend.
the,
We see in each other
hold
a
on.
neighbor.
I've never been in the whale crew one. I've never been in that one. Gio had an all right day super scalping. Nice, bro. Congrats. That's his first face reveal? I think so. He has a picture on Instagram with his face with Nick.
Please
Let's see
just
if I can
have
find it.
discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people. Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it.
here real
They're
quick on this
destroying our
line?
country. And they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a
Okay,
lot of people,
so
including Mayor Bloomberg,
took the
agreed with me
low.
on the Central Park Five. They
Didn't take
admitted,
the low.
they said, they pled guilty.
Didn't take the low.
And I said, well, if they
Didn't
pled
take the
guilty,
low.
they badly hurt a person,
Yeah, we're
killed a
gonna.
person
I think we're gonna go
ultimately.
down still.
And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to
Yeah,
be
I'm gonna
bigger,
see if I
better,
can get
and
the
stronger.
picture.
But they're destroying our economy. They have no
Man, I
idea what a
can't.
good
The problem is I
economy
can't
is.
see anything
Their
with these
oil policies, every
goggles
single
on, dude.
policy.
I can't see
and
anything.
remember this.
Hold on, I'm
She
gonna get
is
the
Biden.
picture for you.
You know,
though.
she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman. She says, she is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad, and she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up,
I
Lindsay.
want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly. Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country. One who believes in what is possible, one who brings a sense of optimism about what we can do instead of always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
tax
find it.
deduction. To pursue
Oh, I got it,
their
I got it.
ambitions, their
I got it.
innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of
Nick
conversation
Cypher, that's
I believe,
Crypto
David,
Face.
that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling.
That's your boy.
Let's turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President
Let's
Trump,
turn
we
back to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to
That's
policy.
them with Mike
please.
Perry.
To defund the police. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move
to
on to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay. Thank you,
That's
Mr.
what her
President.
plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond
President
because
Trump,
no, the
President
former
Trump,
president has said
no, I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to
No,
respond to.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're
Need
going
to
to move
respond
on, Vice
one
President
time
Harris.
to what he has
President
said
Trump, this is
multiple
now
times.
your
Yes.
third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed
I
to
know, I
accomplish
agree, man.
that.
Her voice
you
is
now
mad
say you're going
annoying.
to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this, I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats
I have
came
no
up,
idea.
they wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration.
Bro, Ghost, I
We
don't mean this in a condescending way at all, but you said you've been trading for like a month. I highly recommend against looking for signals. Literally like 99% of these signal groups have no idea what they're doing. They post 10 levels and then one of them hits and then they say, look, I told you. So I really highly recommend against trying to find a signals group. They're all scams. I recommend trying to actually learn, but you're going to do your thing. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in. I've been there, bro. Believe me.
right now. But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we
I
come
think
up
it
with
was a
something
10-minute
that's better
breaker.
and less expensive.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute
And there are
breaker.
concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing
Joe, would I
about
be
it
able to
in the
show
not
my
too distant
settings?
future.
Yeah.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported
my
Bernie
settings are
Sanders'
very
proposal
simple.
to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you
Shut up. My settings are simple. I basically turned off literally everything except for the vectors. And then the EMAs, I only use the 50, the 200, and the 800. And then I just toggle them on and off. Literally everything else I turned off. Everything else you see, I turned off. I don't need the pivot points, the M1, the M2s, the M0s. Don't need it. The sessions, I know the session times. I don't need to know when it's Asia. I don't need to know when it's Hong Kong. Vector candle zones, I don't need it because I'm, number one, following order blocks. But number two, I can already see where the vectors are. I don't need to know where my psychological levels are. Yes, they're useful, but I don't really use them anymore. And that's it. Everything else is turned off, you know? It's literally like the only setting that I have on are the vector candles. And then when I want the EMAs, I come and I toggle show EMAs. That's the only thing I have on. If you want to keep the 5 and the 13, you know, you're more than welcome to gauge momentum. But my other settings, literally everything else is turned off. Everything else is turned off.
Great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight.
Let me answer this question. Let me answer this. I'm just wondering how much time do I need to dedicate because I'm studying right now. I have to wait till summer or a break to really put a lot into this. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Like, there's no set answer for this question. It's not like, okay, you do 6 months and then you're a trader, right? It's the same with everything, okay? Think of like, and the analogy that I always use is LeBron James, okay? Like, do you think that LeBron picked up a basketball and then 2 days later, like he was in the NBA? No. So it's going to take time and everybody's different. You learn different than I do. I learn different than the next person does. And so what may have taken me 2 years, give or take a year and a half to learn, I also dedicated my time every day. Even like, let me put it to you even this way. I started my YouTube in May of 2023. So I started my YouTube about, let's say, give or take 15 months ago now. Ever since I started my YouTube, I've been doing this literally full time. And I have developed immensely as a trader for the last 15 months alone. And when I started my YouTube, I was profitable. So let me just put that, just to give you perspective. You will get what you put into it, but even me, I've developed so much as a trader in the last 15 months just doing this every day. And the reason why is because, do you think LeBron right now, the top of the NBA, doesn't practice and get his free throws in every day? Of course he does. So it's the same thing. You know, you evolve as you go. And so it's not a set time. There's no end to the journey. It's like gymming. You know, Nick and I were talking about this on the video that I posted with him. It's literally like a journey. Like there's no end to it, you know? And so I encourage you, this is going to sound weird, but I encourage you to not get discouraged by my answer, but rather use that answer as something to be proud of, because when you do make it to the other side, and there's no rush, you know, if you're in school, you got to wait for summer, work, whatever the case is. There's no rush to it. And just understand that this is a very disciplined game and no different than being jacked, right? When you're jacked, nobody can take that away from you. When you're disciplined, like, look, I'm a built dude. Okay, I gym, like, I've been off my game lately, but nobody can take away this proof of work. My proof of work in the gym is here. You can't take it away from me. No one can say that I don't go to the gym because I take care of myself. I'm healthy. I eat right, right? And so sometimes the journey is the best part. So I wouldn't focus on how much time do I need to put in to get the game. I think you just need to get the game. Like, you just need to love the game and you need to just play it every day. And don't focus on, oh, I want to become this and I want to become that. Focus more on enjoying the process, and then you'll become LeBron. Anyway, sorry to rant.
The United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000
I'm going to tell you, sorry guys,
jobs.
I'm only muting because this guy is new and I know what it's like to be new and it's very overwhelming and it sucks to lose money, and I'm going to be very transparent. Look, bro, I am biased. I'm going to tell you to join my Discord. I'm very biased. Obviously, I'm going to tell you that. But here's what I'm going to say. Not every trader is the same. I am very like, I'm not so much the same trader as many others. And so I don't trade using support and resistance and triangles and flags. Like, I don't do any of that. So I do believe you will get a lot of value in my Discord, but I'm also biased. Like, that's why I don't even shill my own shit. I tell you guys to. Like, you guys drop the tree emojis if you think it's worth it. It's not
Him and
me.
his son. They
Anyways,
get
I'm
all
done
this
muting.
money from
Sorry.
Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
The ABC News presidential debate will continue after this.
Oh man, now is the time. Now is the time where we should be, where I should be doing it. Contrarian Geo is the best Geo. Man, I made a bullish video the other day and it was like, ugh, I felt so mainstream. I felt so mainstream. Ghost, I'll tell you this, bro. Join, and if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. I have no problem doing that. So there's no risk on you. Come and join. It's a good network, man. And my people, like, I actually give a damn about people, and that translates well with everyone else. So if you're an asshole, like, I don't care about your money, I'll boot you. Right? I was the only dude that said we will go down before all-time highs. Believe me, I know. I know. I know, man. I know. But yeah, man, come on in, man. The network is great. The people are great, and they actually help you, you know? It's not like your number. 5 years for you to be profitable. It takes time, bro. It's different for everybody. Different for everybody. Looking swole. Thank you, man. I'm actually up weight. I haven't been, what's it called? I haven't been gymming, and I actually, honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I went to the doctor the other day for a physical. I got low blood sugar. I haven't been eating. I haven't been sleeping. I haven't been gymming. Like, I'm definitely not going to say at an all-time low. I'm definitely not going to say an all-time low, but I'm not, I haven't been taking care of myself and I need to start. So I promised myself tomorrow I got to get back, but that's why I'm looking swole is I'm actually up weight. I'm up like a good % on weight right now. You know, so you can't join my Discord because your cell phone codes is not accepted. Wait, what do you mean? Like your area code? Is that what you're referring to? Your area code? Sorry about your ears. Sorry, guys. I didn't know it was that loud. You're in Canada? Yeah, bro. I'm Canadian, dude. I'm in Toronto. Yeah. No, the price is in US. Price is USD. Man, you can be profitable after 6 months, but it's more about... It's like, okay, when you're in a relationship with somebody, but you spend every day with them for 2 weeks, 24/7, you've developed more of a relationship than somebody that you've been with for a year, but you only see once a week or once a month. You know what I'm saying? So like, time is not the... It's not time. It's time that you're working. It's not time like as a whole, you know? If you put the time in, you put the work in, you'll get it. Wait, why is your phone an issue though? My bench is like one... What's my bench? One... I haven't benched in a while, to be honest with you. 45, 90, 135, 155. My bench is about 170, 175. And that is, and I weigh 135. So I fluctuate between 135 and 140. And my bench is around 170. No, I know the codes that make you prove that you're human, but why are the codes not working? Like, what about it isn't working? $270 per year. Yeah, that plan is actually going to go soon. Prices are going up.
Here again, David
probably
York
next month.
And Lindsay Davis.
Welcome back tonight.
What
The
are my
time has
main
come for
time
closing statements,
frames?
and Vice
I
President
use
Harris
all time frames, man. That's never...
So
Like,
I think you've heard tonight two very
Catch me on the next stream and I'll answer that because I don't want to mute it again because people want to hear.
One that is focused on the future.
But I have a good...
and the
I might
other
make a
that is
video about
focused on
time
the
frames.
past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back.
Oh, shit.
And I do
Really?
believe that the American people know we all have so
Some
much
bot
more in
tried to
common
use
than
your
what
phone
separates
number?
us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes
I don't know how to
having a
like
plan,
contact you. I don't know how to get you
understanding
in.
the
Can you join it?
aspirations,
Are you
the
in the
dreams,
Discord? You just can't
the
talk?
hopes, the ambition of the American people.
By the way,
which
guys,
is
the link for the
why
Discord
I
is down
intend to
below.
Create an opportunity economy, investing in small
God, is
businesses,
this what colors
in
look
new
like?
families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world.
Damn, I have no idea,
I will be a president that will
guys.
protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions
Listen, join the
about her
Discord.
own
Tell me
body
what's your
and
name
not
in the
have her
Discord,
government tell her what to do.
and then we'll
I'll tell
message you,
I
either me or
started my
Dak.
career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump?
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it?
Just lose
She's
the
been there for
fucking
3.5
line, man.
years.
Lose
They've
the
had 3.5
line. Lose
years
the
to
line.
fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get
Try
everyone
to
together and do
try
the
to
things you
contact
want to
them,
do,
bro.
but you haven't done it, and you won't do it.
Try to talk to them.
Because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack, we're not going to take fossil fuel, we're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation.
Oh, that's good.
We're
Actually,
a nation
I totally
that's in
lied.
serious decline. We're being laughed at all
This
over
is
the
a
world.
Model 1
All over the world, they're laughed. I know
reaccumulation.
the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over
This
the
is
world.
actually
They
a
don't
Model 1
understand what happened to
reaccumulation
us
to
as
go
a
higher.
nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have
Wow, I
wars
didn't see
going
that
on in the
until
Middle
right now.
East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world
this is
war,
not
and it'll
a-
be
a
a war like no
reaccumulation.
other because of nuclear weapons, the power of
Not
weaponry.
really.
I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What
We'll see.
these
They're
people
fighting
have
because
done
they
to our
they're
country, and maybe
reaccumulating,
toughest of
but then
all
they
is allowing
distributed up here,
millions of
so
people to come
perhaps
into
the
our country.
distribution was
Many
just
of
to
them
come
are
and mitigate
criminals,
that.
and they're
We'll see.
destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. Please do a video on time frames. Yeah, so wait, is the guy that asked me that still here? The time frame question? By the way, guys, do me a solid. If you haven't hit the like button already, that would help a lot. Dude, I gotta... These freaking things are hurting my eyes. Oh my gosh, is this what color looks like? Matek. Did you just join it today, or were you in there from a while ago? Matech? Dude, my eyes are fucking broken, dude. Anyways, let me answer this question. Which time frame do I use? So every time I get this question, which is very often, my answer is the same every time. Which is that I use all time frames, but you're asking kind of the wrong question, okay? This is, okay. I could be wrong. Remember, I kind of do things a little bit differently than other people. Okay. Time is time. Time is not like people. Hold on. People are too caught up on time. Okay. At any given time, Bitcoin can only be one price, which is right now, Bitcoin is 56951, period. People are too caught up on which time frame. You're not looking for, like, time does not define what you trade. Like, you don't trade based on time. You trade based on... Why is this not transform fit to screen? Oh, because this is sideways. Okay. You trade based on what you see. You don't trade based on time. So what I do anyways is I don't go, okay, I'm on the 15-minute time frame, so I'm going to always trade the 15-minute time frame. I'm always looking for divs on the 15 or whatever. I don't do that. I'm looking for a pattern. Okay? I'm looking for market structure flips. I'm looking for divergences, and I will manipulate the time that I'm on, the time frame that I'm using, in order to see what I want to see. So while you asking what's my favorite time frame, and many people ask that, time is not what the focus is, at least for me. My focus is, what does market cipher look like? What is structure looking like on the time frame that I want to see it on? And I'll show you an example. Here, right now, we didn't give this divergence, right? We don't have a divergence. So I want to see potentially a divergence. I want to see us come up and potentially take that high, right? But this high is this high on every time frame. So time is not what you're looking for, because we already know that at some point in time, price is going to take this high. I know this kind of sounds weird, but what you're focusing on is which time frame will show you the entry or the pattern that you want to see on market cipher at the time of us taking this high. So time is not the focus. What do we trade? What's your favorite time frame? It's irrelevant. I'm focused on this. Look at this, right? This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for this, where you have a nice structure flip. This is a structure flip. I don't care what time frame I see this flip on. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I want to see a flip, right? So here, same, okay? Same story. This was a flip. I want to see this flip. It doesn't matter what time it's on. If price ended up doing that, I will go to the time frame that I want, or I will manipulate the time frame to come and see the pattern that I want to see. Kind of a complicated answer, I'm aware. Maybe you think this guy has no idea what he's doing. Fair. But that's the way that I approach time. It's not, like, time is time. It doesn't matter. The price is the same at all time. Like, on every time frame, the price was the price at that time. So it's the wrong question. I hope that made sense, man. It probably didn't, but I hope it did. Like, I'm looking for the shapes. I'm looking for the structure. And then I will adjust based on the structure that I want to see. Like, if I, on the 15-minute time frame, have a structure flip, but I don't have a structure flip on the 30, then I will use the 15 if it makes sense to use the 15. But in reality, it's the same move. It just looks different. So time frame is not the right question. Because you're looking for the move. You're not looking for the time. The time is the same on all time frames. Price was the same. You're looking for the... Anyways, I hope that made sense. Yes, I do have videos on key levels. Dude, my whole YouTube is tutorials, bro. Go watch every tutorial. They're all tutorials. I've never done a video on Model 1 or Model 2 accumulations, no. Do I think hitting this upcoming 15 order block could be a good reconfirmation? This one up here? Yes. I do think that it would be a good reconfirmation. But actually, let's try something here. Let's test something out. We got our range, okay. Yeah, I think as long as you get a confirmation, and I'll tell you why. Because we still have this this is like easy liquidity, guys. You know, this is what I mean by I don't trade like other people. I don't do this, right? I don't oh, we're at a trend line, let me long it. I don't do that. That's just not for me, okay? So I'm looking to run this liquidity, and then when you run this liquidity, we're coming down to here. You're gonna come down somewhere down here, and then even here you have all this liquidity. So you know, even if we continue higher at this moment in time, given that we're in resistance, I'm looking for shorts. I'm going to prioritize shorts, right? Because we have all this that we could make a run for. So understanding that, yes, I do think that this is a good short entry. However, you need to have confirmation. And I don't think it needs to be crazy confirmation. 2-minute flip here, 2 to 3 minute flip. I would take that short. I would take that short. And I would only take it because we did have an accumulation here. Yes, this accumulation could be the move down just to give you a reaccumulate. Or sorry, the distribution here could be the move down to give you that reaccumulation. However, number one, Bitcoin is not even accumulating right now. That's number one. And number two, it doesn't mean that even if it was accumulating, it doesn't mean that the accumulation is going to beat the distribution. Right? But we still have all this staring at us in the eye. There is liquidity here. This is all liquidity, right? They could come and run that. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't already run that. I guess they want to trap more longs. I suspect that they're trapping longs right now. Anyways, US oil along with the dollar is sitting in the same spot right before COVID fell off a cliff. Interesting. This probably sounds done, but isn't that just looking for double bottom pattern? No, I don't trade double. Like, I don't, all the retail patterns I don't trade. Like this, the flag thing, I don't trade that. The diamond, I don't trade that. The head and shoulders, what a head and shoulders basically is an accumulation or a distribution. But they don't know what they're looking for. That's the difference. So I don't, like, they just go, okay, you broke the trend line, now you take the line and you move it here and there's your target. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Why would a game of money have a target based on shapes? That make no sense. If the liquidity, look, if this is a head and shoulders, okay? If this is a head and shoulders here, and then what people do is they draw this line and then they move this line and then they say that's the target. If there's liquidity here, why would the target be here? That makes no sense at all. Right? It makes absolutely no sense. That's the things I shit on. And everything in trading is a lie. Everything you think you know is a lie. Literally every single thing. And that's why 95% of retail loses, right? Like, retail teaches you how to trade, but then 95% of retail loses. So why are you learning from retail? Why are you drawing head and shoulders, knees and toes? Why are you drawing cup and handle patterns? Like, you're fucking weird. This is the game of money. Follow the money. Why are you drawing shapes? We're not in kindergarten. Why are you drawing flags, bull flag? Oh, and then taking the stick. This is the weirdest thing in trading is this. When they do this, and then they go, so now you take the stick, you copy paste it, and here's your target. How does that make sense? If there's no liquidity there, brother, they're not going there. They're going to follow the money. They're not following your weird shape. Call me fucking crazy. Which crypto is the hardest to trade? I would say, I mean, any of them, man. Like, anything that's not Bitcoin is not easy or not easier. Like, Bitcoin's the easiest one because it's the most liquidity. Fractals work great. I think some people use a certain style. I mean, I've only ever once used fractals and my fractal played out perfectly, which was the huge 49K dump. Love your content, man. Really simple. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Your opinion's playing the same pattern. 23rd of June. 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 June 23. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, I agree. Bro, they've been playing this. They've played this, and I've been drawing this over and over again. This is what happens when you don't accumulate. This is what happens when you don't accumulate. Like, why do you think we're not going higher? We haven't accumulated. We're not accumulating. We need to take the low again to accumulate. We're not doing that. So as long as we keep squeezing up like that, shittily, as soon as you get that structure flip, that's an easy short to there and to there. Easy short. Okay. But yeah, I agree with you, Verk. A lot of money below, yeah. Watching you from Argentina. Wow. Welcome, man. I'm glad. That's crazy. Just got here. Welcome, bro. Let's dump this pig. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Trump. I heard Head and Shoulders is also known as Quasimodo. Yeah. Knees and toes. Geo only trades cup and handles. God. Crypto lifer trades like that. Yeah, I've never talked to that dude. What about the Jesus take the wheel? So I'm gonna tell you this, man. I was very bearish up here. Like basically this whole way I was bearish, you know? And it's simple. Like if you come on Market Cypher and we be objective and we don't be weird, like man, you have divs across across cycles. Like I tweeted about this back in I think in like April. You know? How am I supposed to be bullish on this? How? Right? So Crypto Face is talking about like the what did we say it was? Oh, the Jesus take the wheel. Like, and it's funny because man, you guys know I've talked to him. Obviously, like I'm sponsored by him. And he's like, "Man, you were right the whole time." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like I know." Like, man, I've been saying since even before the all-time high that people are too bullish. You know? People are too bullish. People are way too bullish. And this time, to me anyways, again, people are not going to like what I'm about to say. But to me, this time around, people are just a little bit too entitled, man. They're a little bit too entitled. People are saying like, oh yeah, don't worry, the bull market starts here. I'm going to show you guys something that I haven't made a video on. I actually took this today. Look at this. If I come to my folders and I hide everything here, let's hide it all. I literally made this today. I might make a video on it. Cycles, okay? Look at this. I want you guys to see this. Let's look at this objectively. We're not going to be weird. Okay, we're not going to hate on Geo because Geo's just bringing the facts to you. Volume across cycles is significantly lower. Significantly, okay? Now, some people say it's because the contract sizes and whatever. I don't know anything about that. That could be true. I'm not saying that's not true, but this is a fact. Right now, what I can see on the screen is a fact, okay? Now, look at this. This is kind of scary, in my opinion, okay? Let's look at what we have going on here. I have a couple things going on here. We need the right ones. I got two going on here. Get this. Okay, first thing that we need to know. Not that. First thing that we need to know. Actually, we should move all these on the top. Okay, first thing you need to know. From the cycle high, from the last previous cycle high to the previous cycle low. So from the bear market beginning to the bear market end was literally 371 days. Okay, 1 year. Just over 1 year. 1 year and 1 week. Was the whole bear market, was only 1 year. Now, we have already been in a bull market, you know, from the bear market low. Like we're being objective because we're counting the bear market start from the exact high. So we're counting the bull market start from the exact low. Like same, okay? We've already been in a bull market now for, how many days is this? For 672 days. So 2 years, just under 2 years. We've been in a bull market double the time that we were in a bear market. Double the time. And people are saying, when is the bull market starting? How do you figure that we're not in a bull market right now? Okay? Now keep this in mind. Keep this in mind, right? Now I'm going to show you another piece of data, which you also might not be a fan of. But it is what it is. I keep it real. I don't lie to you. From the COVID dump to the all-time high was 609 days. COVID dump to the all-time high was 609 days. From where we are now has been 672 days. From the bear market low to now has been 672 days. So we already experienced the entire bull market in terms of time. And this is as objective as possible because I'm taking it from the exact low to the exact high. Here was from the exact low until now. Right? I'm just saying. So when people say that the bull market hasn't started, how in the world do you figure that the bull market has not started? How? How? How can you say that? The data is right in front of you. I'm not making this up. The data is here. It says it on the screen. I'm just saying, something to think about, you know? 9 a.m. there? Good morning, bro. First time that Bitcoin made a new all-time high before halving. Yeah, bro. And this is what I say every single time, you know, and I've been saying it, is that what is this, man? Why you spamming? I've been saying too, you know, the cycle's broken. Like, the cycle is broken. The cycle's broken, period. So anyone that says, oh yeah, the 4-year cycle, you know, this is that, dude, the cycle's broken. Like, there's no question about that. The cycle's broken. So it doesn't need to follow any cycle. And I'm telling you, this time around, man, people are saying retail isn't in. It has to go higher. Wait for the parabolic. Dude, like, people are a little bit too entitled. It doesn't have to do anything. It could just go down from here for the next 2 years. It doesn't need to go up again. Doesn't have to, is my point. That's what I mean by the entitlement. Like, oh no, don't worry, it's coming. Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Not going to lie, but there has not yet been an altcoin season. Yeah, but why does there even have to be an altcoin season? Like, everyone knows about crypto this time around. This time is so different than last time. Nobody knew about crypto last time. Everyone knows crypto this time. Everybody. Again, I'm not trying to spread FUD and shit. I'm just bringing the facts to you. This is just what's on the screen, you know? Was the COVID crash not the bear market low? I wasn't trading during COVID, so I don't really know. That's a genuine question. Previous performance does not indicate future performance. Also, according to my liquidity approach, how do I explain price discovery? Well, yeah, you're definitely right. So the past does definitely not equate to the present. So just because we've had a super cycle in the past doesn't mean we have to have it now. Just because we've never had a Bitcoin top that looks like this before doesn't mean it has to be now. Just as we took the all-time high before the halving, which has never happened before either, right? So you can't play two sides to it. You can't say, oh yeah, we have to have this because we've never had this before, but then Bitcoin, like, the cycle's broken, period, okay? Cycle's broken. But as for how do I explain price discovery, I mean, eventually they're gonna like, price is gonna run up, and then like they need to make you believe that price is gonna go up and down eventually. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, what is price discovery? Like, they get you pumped up, they're injecting liquidity here. They're getting you to inject your liquidity longs, and then they rip it down for 2 years, and then you're all screwed, you know? I agree with everything you are saying. Oh yeah, I already read that. People jumped the gun. We should have been trading in 20 to 30K till now and barely started to... Yeah, man, we went way too fast. Like, I personally don't think it's sustainable. That's just my opinion. I don't think any of this is sustainable. I'm surprised that they're holding it up here for this long. I swear to God, I'm surprised. I think the higher it goes, the worse it'll be. You know? Like, if you... Like, let me put it to you this way. 99% of the creators out there, if you ask them, could we see a 20... Could we? Not even will we. Could we? Is it even possible to see a 20K Bitcoin in 2025? They're going to say, no, it's not possible. Everything is possible. You could see 20K Bitcoin in 2025. Yes, you can. Not saying we will. We had altcoin season 1 month after. Yeah, man, we did, dude. Solana, yeah, exactly, bro. Solana went from $7 to 210. Dude, Solana, in my opinion, is topped out. Like, it's not going to be what it was. That's my opinion. I agree there don't have to be at all. I'm not going to go back and forth because I think you're a nice guy, but I keep hearing you say everyone knows about crypto. The thing is data don't show that sentiment. I mean, bro, look at Google Trends, man. Look at Google Trends, bro. I'm not saying that it's over. I'm not saying that at all. But go to Google Trends. Don't take my word for it. Go to Google Trends. Right? The same people that were saying Bitcoin isn't, or no one knows that retail's not in yet, were the same people that, or were saying that while Bitcoin was at its all-time high, like in terms of searching on Google Trends. Right? Look, I'm going to show you. You can't say that they don't know. Or you can't say that they're not in. Let's see if we can get some data here. Okay, look at this. So this is searching Bitcoin worldwide on the past 5 years, okay? I'm not saying it's nearly as high as it was at the high, okay? I'm not saying it's 100, obviously, right? But you can't say that they don't know. Like, we're still getting spikes. It's not like it's a flat line. And if I were to come to like the last 12 months, like, you know, there are search terms here. You can't say that they're not here. Right? Especially now with the ETFs and stuff. Let's see if we search Bitcoin ETF. Yeah, I mean, there's hype around it, you know. There's definitely hype around it. Anyway, Bitcoin broke all-time high, maybe due to inflation. Yeah, definitely. I don't think the bull run is over. I think the stock market has one more run up. Listen, if Bitcoin goes to all-time high again, like, I am looking for the most giga short, like life-changing shorts. I'm not even joking. 2-hour money flow down, VWAP going down. Yeah. Agree, but why would they keep building billions of dollars worth of shorts above us? Why would they keep like this here? You got to understand, man. You got to understand, guys. Yes, there's a lot of shorts here. For sure. For sure there are. But there are so many longs here too. Like, I'm not saying that they're not going to come for this first. They could definitely do this and then come down for sure. But there's always going to be liquidity in one direction. They can't obviously attack all liquidity always. But objectively, let's just be objective. There is so much liquidity here. Like, there's so much there. And it's not even, you got to understand, it's not just leveraged positions. They've gotten people, like, everybody that bought at the ETF, which was where? Here, right? January or whatever. The ETF, they are all in profit. Like, none of these people know what it's like to even remotely be a little bit scared. Anybody that bought in the last 2 years have not even, forget getting shaken out. They're not even like at break even yet on their spot positions. Right? Like, they're not even break even. So forget even being underwater. Anybody that bought in the ETF has been in profit this entire time. Hasn't even had a scare. It's not just about liquidations, you know? The market is not a charity. Again, I'm not saying that it's going to go down. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, you know, if we're thinking about it objectively, none of these people have even experienced what a scare is. ETFs launched and we went straight up. Even their spot positions. All they did was go up from being up 100% or fine 60% to now only being up 25%. Oh no. I'm up 25% on my investment in less than 1 year when institutions offer me 3% if I'm lucky over a year. Oh no. Dude, it hasn't even started. Like, we haven't even, we're still in a range. We haven't even started going down. When it's time to go down, you're going to see how fast it's going to go down. I'm not saying it's not going to go up first. I'm saying when it's time to go down, you're going to see how fast it's going to go down. Everyone knew about alt in 2021 after 2017, but still pump. I don't know, man. I disagree. I'm also a little bit biased because I kind of joined in 2021. I didn't know about it in 2017, so. What do I think about the FAG index being extreme fear? I don't care about the FAG index, bro. I think, personally, my opinion, and please don't take my bluntness, please don't take my bluntness for me, like, being an asshole. I literally, not in the slightest, do I care about this. I don't give a fuck about it. I think it is the stupidest metric that you could possibly ever follow. And it not only that, is the most emotional metric ever. First of all, we don't even know how it's calculated. How is it calculated? Like, who decides what the number is? Second of all, it's based purely on emotion. And number one, as a trader, if you're going to be emotional, you're going to get fucked. And number two, as a man, if you're going to be emotional, you're going to get fucked. So who is this for, really? The women that don't know how to control their emotions? Like, who is this for? This is the stupidest metric. I don't base anything off of this. And just the cherry on top is it literally, the acronym is literally FAG index. So, what do I think about it? It doesn't affect me in the slightest. Plenty of people know about crypto. I'm convinced that the whole world knows about crypto, bro. Honestly, I'm convinced that they all do. Searching and buying are two different things, though. But yeah, I agree. There doesn't have to be an altcoin season or a bull run. You can't see there not being a blow off top. Look, man, I agree. We have a lot of liquidity above us. I agree with you, right? I'm not saying that, and not only that, you guys know all I talk about is accumulation, 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 right? We don't have a distribution at the high. They need to take this high again in order for this to be a proper distribution. They need to. But, and we've never had a high like this before, but I'm gonna show you this, and this is scary, guys. Look, what if this is your tap 1, this is your tap 2, and this is your tap 3 distribution? So where's your target for this? Is down here. If this is your range, which it is a range, we're in a range. What if that's your tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 distribution? Down you go. Here's your target. If this was the 1 minute time frame, I would be shorting this all day. All day. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. So you got to be open to all scenarios. You can't just say, oh man, we have to have a blow off top. No, you don't. We have to have a altcoin season. No, you don't. We have to go to 40K. No, you don't. You don't have to go to 40K, right? But that's the difference, is you have to just like, you have to just know that it can do anything. And that's my biggest beef with like the perma bulls and the bull tards, is that people come and shit on me for example, showing these facts of time, facts, and then they shit on me and just say, oh no, it can't go there. Yes, it can. It can do whatever it wants to do. It can go to 80K. It can go to 20K. Don't say it can't. It can. It definitely can. Thoughts on Tino saying 80K by September 18th? Yeah, I mean, I gave macro analysis. I gave macro analysis like earlier in the stream. Until I see clean breaks above 59, 60K, maybe 61 on the daily time frame, we can't talk about all-time high. And to be honest with you, shame, and I'm not saying he's wrong. And I take a lot of, I've learned a lot from Tino. I have mad respect for Tino. I've been very open about that. I give the man credit where credit's due. He knows more than me. But shame on Tino for talking about 80K, because Tino's the one that taught me, how are we going to talk about all-time high if we're not even above 60K yet? You're not even above 60K. You're not even above 57K. How are we going to talk about 80? So shame on Tino. But mad love to Tino. But he's the one that taught me that, man. All right. Take the high, then slow bleed again. Mega dump. I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. 100K, I will put my life on the line that we're not going to 100K. That I will tell you. That's absurd. No shot do I think that we're going to 100K. If we're going to take the high again, I think like max 85K. And when I say 85K, I mean 86 is acceptable, 87 is acceptable, like, you know, between 83 and 87, like max. No shot do I think this is going to 100K. No fucking way. No way. That's my opinion. Things can change. People not trying to look at it like that. Yeah, I know. But man, that's the thing, right? Like everyone expects a super cycle. Everyone expects all-time highs. Everybody expects an altcoin season. What happens when everybody thinks one thing is going to happen, right? You're right. I'm about to open a short and eat the ginger for a while because 1 wick to the upside. Yeah, man, listen, if we come up, I hope we come and take all-time highs, dude. Number one, the channel will gain traction. Number two, it'll be the short opportunity of a lifetime. Everybody will be so bullish. I'll be here eating the ginger as objective as possible with no emotion, like a man. I'm not emotional. And by the way, people seem to think that I like always say I want it to go down because I missed the boat. Those people are fucking retarded because I can make more money leveraging my USDT than I can. And personally me, I would never invest my money in this fucking shit coin. I would never buy Bitcoin. I want to buy real shit like houses, like property. I'm not trying to buy a fucking make-believe Mickey Mouse video game. Like it's not even a coin. What are we talking about here? Dino's channel is Trader's Reality. It's not even gonna take the high, bro. Honestly, like the more it goes, the more like the more time goes on. I mean, I think the worse it is, dude. Like more and more, I'm thinking maybe the high is in. I'm thinking like I don't know, man. I don't know. He said we have to go to 64. Okay, he did say that. Okay. All right. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, yo, Nick is gonna be so jacked, bro. What about 250K? Yeah, dude. The day that happens, he would say on the daily, we are not even above the whatever. Yeah. There is no support, only resistance. Yep. Actually, there's only one support, bro. There's literally only one support. What is that number? Yo, that actually add like one other thing, man. One other thing, dude. One other thing. Okay, dude, I'll take you on the 10 USD. One other thing. When people say max pain is whatever number, they're fucking retarded. I don't know if anyone like, I don't know if you guys know what max means. Max means maximum. So if we're talking about maximum pain, that's 0. There's only one max pain number. That max pain is 0. Because then it wouldn't be max. Fucking idiots. Guys, he's never heard of money printing. Who has never heard of money printing, bro? Who? Geo is a stoic, Chad. Night says blocked. Blocked who? You're blocking me? Are you blocking me or am I blocking you? Bro, Geo is about the only person to YouTube I'm actually respectful to. He's a nice bloke. I appreciate that, brother. It's going to clear the highs because people were short and push it higher. Maybe. I hope so, dude. I hope it goes to the high, man. I hope so. I hope, guys. I want it to go to all-time high. I do. It'll be good for my channel and I'll have a better short. Liquidated is Max Payne. 44K buyers will feel like shit at 36K. I kind of agree with that. I agree with that. It doesn't have to stop, man. I'm acting like people say that. No, people say, wait. No, people say that Max Payne, like okay, when we were in the 60s, people were telling me and giving me shit in the stream saying, bro, Max Payne is 58K. And I'm like, 58K? 58K is still in the range. How is that Max Payne? We're not, wait, hold on. Like, I'm like, how, look, we're not going to talk about how this range wasn't mitigated. We're not going to talk about this. That range wasn't mitigated. You're not going to talk about that? You're not going to talk about this guy? Like, what are we talking about here? You're not going to talk about how the last bull market gave you a 50% retracement to the downside? You're not going to talk about that? Like, how is, from where we were, like, you know, how is that Max Payne? We're still just in a range. We haven't even started dumping yet. There's no dump yet. We're in a range. This is a retracement. This is a retracement. Come down to 43. There's your retracement, kind of. But we're in a range, guys. We're literally in a range. We are literally in a range. Yes, I'm in a short from earlier today. But I wanted to get into a position on stream, but we didn't have one. But I am in a short. Anyway. Bro, I've been in Bitcoin, or I've been in crypto since 2017. This shit is a big scam, and Bitcoin will go to zero. Maybe. Who knows? It could. I use Mexi. Clay, what's up, brother? Have I seen Crypto Ken's videos? He sold all his Bitcoin at 70. He's predicting 20K next year from recession. Here's what I'm gonna say. We are definitely I think we're in a recession. There's no doubt we're in a recession. I think whoever thinks we're not in a recession is crazy. And I think that this guy was very smart to sell his Bitcoin at 70K. And I was saying it at 70K and at 74K. While everyone else is calling for all-time highs, I'm saying you guys are fucking crazy. Your channel will do well this run if we get 25 or 50. But we should be good. It will be shit for months, but it'll be okay. Man, like, what's my lowest price for Bitcoin? My lowest price for Bitcoin? I mean, lowest price is 0. But realistic price that I think it can go to? I think that we could see... I think that we could see this pretty easily. 31.6, I think we can see very easily. I don't think it's gonna, and you know what's funny is when it rains it pours. I'm not saying we're going down there, but when it rains it pours. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you start losing 43 and then you lose this 38K low, look at all this shit liquidity. Guys, if this happens, if you lose this zone and you don't hold here, this is going to be in 1 day. You're going to fall 20% in 1 day. This is going to be 1 day. Is this the short? I hope so. I don't think so. I don't think this is it. But the day is coming, man. The day is coming. The day is coming. Imagine ETF buyers under listing price. Bitcoin ETF trading below listing price. That's the buy moment. Yeah. You know, they're not even scared yet, dude. They're not even scared yet. They're not even scared, dude. They're like, man, listen, what happens when the stock market crashes, right? All of these people decide to run to their advisors and say sell, 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 and then their advisors say no, it's not the time to sell, and then they sell it anyways. Man, the market is emotional. The people that bought the ETFs haven't even experienced any emotion yet. They've only been in profit. They're literally not even at break even yet. Forget even drawdown. Forget drawdown. You know, when you're in a position that's in drawdown, you get scared, you get antsy. Not only have they not experienced that, they haven't even been at break even. Like, am I making sense? Mexi is KYC, Edmund. But if you want a non-KYC alternative, if you want a non-KYC alternative, in the description, I have another exchange which is the same owner, I believe, as Mexi, and that one is called KSEX. That one is non-KYC. To enter a true bear market, we have to lose 38K. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. No, VPN won't work, but you can use KSEX. It's the same. Same owners. Or same owner. Yeah, I agree. And the reason why I agree with that is because your weekly structure is this. So as long as you don't close a weekly candle below 38K, then you're fine. Right? You're fine. 9K would be the bottom and the end of a super cycle. Yeah. You know? I don't know, man. We'll see, guys. You know, there is a bunch of liquidity above as well. Maybe they run for it. Maybe you get a big wick to the upside. This does look like it could be a Model 2 accumulation, but the only problem with that is they didn't take that high. But we'll see. I think the best case scenario for Bitcoin, the best case scenario, is to come down to 43, spend like 3 months down here, get a nice range, and actually a nice range where you're actually accumulating. You hit the low. You don't do this. None of this shit. None of that they've been doing over and over and over and over and over again. None of this. Go down, stay down, range here, take the low again, break structure, come up, squeeze all these motherfuckers, get a nice distribution up here, and then down, and see you later. I'll see you in 5 years, maybe. That's the situation that I like. I like that. I like that. That looks good to me. Or what is also possible is the truth. I'm just keeping it real. What if we just come down? We keep coming down. We keep that liquidity, and that's the liquidity that they come for next cycle. Right? What if they come for that next time? What if they come all the way down here, and then it's like, what the hell? And then one day they go pop. What if they do that? And you could also say the other way. What if they just break up and keep going higher? And then you have all this liquidity that they left. And then eventually, when it's time that they come for it, they just go pop. That's also possible, you know? That is also possible. So it's just a matter of understanding that really all scenarios, you know, all scenarios are possible. Right? All scenarios are possible. I think my channel will have its breakthrough moment. People will realize that, you know, I'm not just an up-only fucking bullshit shilling garbage. I don't do that. I keep it real. What about rip straight up to trap all you guys? I mean, it's possible, dude. And it wouldn't be, if it rips straight up, you better believe I'm going to be in a long. I can follow this bitch wherever it goes. I don't care where it goes. It's definitely possible. But I could also counter it and say, what about straight down to trap all you? Your psychology right now is if we see 20K to go all in on spot. But that tells me if we ever go down to 20K, then we will go lower. This super cycle will play out. I think that if we go to 20K, you could go lower. I mean, you just wait for structure, man. Just trade it. Like, instead of trying to like predict what's going to happen, just react to it. Like, you can get in based on structure. You don't need to, we don't need to sit here and say, like, look, if we flip bullish, then I'll long. If we flip bearish, then I'll short. Like, you don't need to, you don't need to like guess. Like, why do we need to guess? Your guess, listen, everyone can guess. It doesn't mean anything. You have a 50-50 shot. Is it going to go up or down? Everybody that's been guessing lower hasn't been right, and everyone that's been guessing higher hasn't been right. We've been doing butt fuck nothing. Okay? So why not just trade with what the market gives you? You're going to see it in the charts anyways. Right? Structure is king, man. Structure is king. Not liquidity. Nope. Structure is king. You'll go far. We take out the lows and move back up. Dumping right now. Love the show tonight, Geo. You make a lot of good points. And Bitcoin does need a retrace. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I think our long is good to go, bro. Go ahead, bro. Biggest ego you've ever seen in trading. What about anything that I'm saying right now is egotistical? Please tell me what have I done right now? What am I egotistical about right now? If I'm giving two scenarios, please enlighten me. Indulge me for 1 second. When Steve decides it's time to rinse the longs and start the game over at the lows, yeah. I think your channel will make it as long as you don't go down the route everyone else has gone by being rude to everyone. You can actually hold a convo and pleasant. Yeah, you know, listen, I tend to sometimes, like, I can be like rude. I have that tendency, but like I'm just biting back at people because you gotta understand, man. I've been talking about this for a year now and people have been shitting on me for a year. So sometimes like it gets a lot, you know? And like when people, for example, say like, oh, biggest ego, but then they can't actually back it up. Like, and I'm just being as objective as possible. You know, eventually, like, why do you guys think I haven't streamed in a week? Like, man, I see the comments. Like, people are fucking rude, you know? Acting like I'm gonna catch every move. Bro, I literally said this stream, I don't even catch every move. I never said I'm gonna catch every move. I didn't long this low. Like, what are you talking about? I have ways that I can get in. Yeah, when structure breaks bullish, I can get back in here. Like, what do you... I never said I get every move. I didn't long here. I didn't long here. I didn't long here. I sure as hell shorted here, 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 here. But I didn't long it. I'm not long right now. Like, how is that egotistical? I'm a scalper, bro. I'm a scalper. Look, I didn't catch this. Don't sweat the haters. Yeah, man. You know, I think I've done a good job lately. You know, relatively. Like, I think last year it bothered me a lot being new to YouTube and shit. Now I've become more numb to it. At the end of the day, I don't really care. Like, everything I say, it's my channel, right? Like, it's literally my channel. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, let's see if we can rinse some fucking longs, man. Let's go. Who is longing this trend line? You guys aren't over this yet? I think it's time that longs get some get a little spanking. Leave it, Geo. No, I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I'm just saying sometimes it's a lot and like, you know, I'm taking care of the Nexus and shit anyway, so that's why I haven't been on live for like 10 days because I've been working on other things. I used to like think I need to stream every day and I need to do this. I don't need to do this. Like, I don't. Pencil necks are good. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, you guys know me. I can bite back. Like, don't think like, you guys know, man. I can get real fucking rude. If I just say, if you're going to say stupid shit, like, at least have the intelligence enough to be able to back it up. Right? Like, if you're gonna say stupid shit like what that guy said, like, you sound foolish. Dude, my entire Twitter is the debate. Literally every single post is the debate. Look at that belly to the upside, calling it the Geo pattern. You can fit G in the first hump, E in the second, O in the last, which is basically the top. Wait. Look at that belly to the upside. Oh, wait, are we talking about the macro? You could fit the G in the first hump on the macro? Like, are we talking this? Like that? Like, is that what we're talking about here? Yeah, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. F the haters. Yeah. You're long. You've been regretting it. I'm sorry, bro. Gio, please do you a favor, and no matter how big I get, don't start calling people pencil necks. No, I'll just start calling them fans. Hey, Gio, you said we go for liquidity, but there's such a high concentration above the descending channel. Why wouldn't we go for that, then go down? So, Ghost, it's not about like we absolutely could, right? It's not, you don't need to necessarily predict. Like I said, your guess is as good as mine as to whether or not we're going to go higher first or lower. We have liquidity both ways, right? So instead of guessing which way they're going to go, why don't we just react? If they break this low, I mean, it would have been better if they took the high again. So technically your structure like is this, so they can come all the way down to here while still remaining bullish, right? Let's just say that they take the high again and then they do this. This is them flipping bearish. So there's your answer. Structure is going to tell you faster than any indicator will. Structure is going to tell you faster than anybody on Twitter or anybody on YouTube will. This is how I was able to short way up here. I shorted this on live. No, not this. This. I shorted this on stream. And I shorted up here and it was a scalp trade. And I told you guys on stream on YouTube in real time. I said, plot twist. This is a swing trade. And I'm holding this bitch down to 50K. I literally said it on stream. And people are like, you're crazy. You're crazy. 58K is max pain. I'm like, you fucking dumbass. Max means 0. But anyways, we came down. This, I shorted it on stream. And the reason why is because structure told me to. We took the high. We took the high again. We SFP'd. I knew where we were. We broke structure. I knew we weren't coming back to that guy. And then all you got to do is look left and say, okay, all these retail idiots are longing trend lines and not paying attention to liquidity. They're all about to get fucking wrecked. And I tweeted here, I'm like, Bitcoin's ready for a minus $10,000 candle. And then bam, like 3 days later, there it goes, right? So that's basically like, you know, like, again, you could go. So to answer your question, bro, you could absolutely, this is liquidity. This is undeniable liquidity. They could go for it. But you got to ask yourself, there's also liquidity here. How do you know which one they're going to go for first? You wait for structure. That's number one. Number two, you got to also think this is so easy for them to grab and they stopped here. Why? They could have just went like that. That was so easy to grab and they didn't grab it. Why? Maybe their intention is to come grab this first. Maybe their intention is to come hit the order block that they missed before. Remember, what did they hit here? They hit a 786. Cool. But there's nothing else besides the 786. It wasn't smart money that long, did? The CME gap. Yeah, we also have a CME gap to the downside. That's correct. Where it goes to the upside, no on the 5-minute time frame. Oh, on the 5-minute time frame. Let's see. Where it goes to the upside, no on the 5-minute from the last upward before the crash. Like this? Like that? Is that what we're talking about? I kind of like that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I kind of like that. Market makers prefer lower prices always. Yeah. With great power comes greater hate, and it's all about how I deal with it. Yeah, I try my best, man. I try my best. I appreciate you, though. Thank you. Price action is not following the liquidation heat map this time. Why is price moving so slow? It's potentially just to trap more traders. On the curse to my right. On the curse to my right. Like that's the O? Or is it this? This is what you're talking about? Like this? Bro, you gotta draw it in the Discord, man. Draw it for me and post it in the Discord. Dumb question, but when you say they, who are we talking about? Whales? Yeah, there's no such thing as dumb questions, by the way. Thank you for asking that question. It's not a dumb question. Yeah, we're talking about market makers. Basically whales. The people that actually move the market, because you and I can't move the market. I mean, I don't know about you. I definitely cannot move the market. Right? I can't move the market. So let's get all of our local shit back on. Do I not have a local folder? So let's see what happens. I don't think that they're going to hold this trend line. I don't think so. I said that many, many time ago. 10-minute is looking pretty bullish. I disagree with you, bro. I respectfully disagree with you. Respectfully disagree. I don't think it looks bullish. No. So they have a plan? Yeah, man. They're the ones that move the price. Their plan always is the same. Listen, market makers will move the price for 3 reasons. Number 1, to attack liquidity, aka go for stop losses and liquidations. Number 2, to generate liquidity. That's why they range. Why do you think they range? People say, oh yeah, price is ranging because it needs to give RSIs a chance to cool off. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? RSIs to cool off. This is a game of money. It's not a game of RSIs. Anyways, so they do it to generate liquidity. When they range, it ranges. And then that's why typically in a range, they end up sweeping both sides because they're attacking. They generate liquidity, then they attack liquidity. And then the third reason is to rebalance an imbalance, which is kind of like attacking liquidity as well, which is right there. That is an imbalance. Can we come down there? Absolutely we can. Because it's an imbalance, which is what the vectors are. Vector candles are imbalances. That's why we monitor them. We're following the smart money. This is an imbalance. What happens when you have an imbalance? They end up rebalancing it. Simple as that. So yes, they do have a plan. Their plan is to fuck your wallet. That's the plan. And every single thing that they do is for that and that alone. Wow. This bitch is in a relationship? That sucks. It's kind of a hot picture, though. What a whore. How do you post yourself naked like that? Fucking whore. Anyway, let's see what happens, man. I just want to, like, I'm bored, dude. Come on. Like, take this fucking low. Who's longing this shit? Don't they know Bitcoin's going to minus 3,000? Like, fuck it, stop longing. Yeah. Man, they're just generating liquidity right now. That's all they're doing. People are longing, and then they're gonna fucking rinse it. Up in the morning, girl, and the DJ playing that song. Man, what you gonna do? No, I don't have a girl, bro. 9 times out of 10, we go up because they're just buying enough Bitcoin to then dump again. Yep. That's what happens when you don't accumulate. But no, Daniel, I do not have a chick. Not anymore. We never got an entry for the short. I mean, there was a short. There was, bro. Earlier today. There was a very easy short, actually. We had an SFP, and we actually, for once, had a confirmation. That was your short entry right there on that break. I took that short. I did take it. So we'll see what happens here. And then here you had a reconfirmation as well. Not a reconfirmation, but you had a re-opportunity on this breaker. Everyone's looking at this guy, right? Everyone's looking up here. We had a breaker here. Maybe we come up again. I don't know. We'll see. The only longs here are the market maker bots trying to maximize short positions. I agree. So they, whales, just chill and generate liquidity and then sell. Well, they hold price, right? Like, they're the only ones that can move the price. You can't move it. Really. So they hold price where it is. They make you think it's going to go up. They make you think it's going to go down, right? They pop up, and then there's breakout traders. Like, people will trade here long because they think it's going to go higher. So they capture those longs and then they come down. And everybody that was shorting the middle of the range have their stop losses here. So they get a whole bunch of longs open here and they have all the shorts stopped out here. And then they rip it back down. Then they repeat. That's exactly what a range is. Do I only trade Bitcoin? No, I trade alts sometimes. I trade ETH. But I like Bitcoin because it's the most liquidity. And I'm actually going to start trading ES and NQ. Actually, tomorrow I'm trading ES and NQ. I'm getting a Top Step account tomorrow morning. What time is it, man? How long have we been live for? 3 hours? Since there are no stupid questions, I gotta ask if I ever held a short or long for over 10 days. And if so, how does the fees and stuff work? Yes, I have. And basically the way that it works is like you have an opening fee. When you open a trade, you have a fee, okay? And then when you close a trade, you have a fee. And then in between, you have something called a funding fee, okay? Which is every 8 hours, you get hit with something called a funding fee. Which is, depends on whatever the funding rate is at the time. So every 8 hours, you pay, let's just say, whatever the amount is, $5, $10, or whatever. And that gets taken from your overall P&L. Now, your funding fee is either positive or negative. If your funding fee is negative, you get paid to hold shorts. If it is positive, or you pay to hold shorts. If it is positive, you get paid to hold longs. So basically, like, if funding rates are positive, then if your funding rate is positive, then the longs have to pay the shorts. Fees ain't bad. I agree, bro. If you're on MEXC, it's so cheap. Top Step gonna be my first funded account? No, I got my breakout account funded. But I'm only going to Top Step because, whoa, this bitch looks so much like someone I know, but she's fat. Top Step is this is gonna be my first Top Step account because I want to start trading other things other than just Bitcoin. Is it like that on every? Yes, every platform has its own funding fee. Correct. Man, these apps don't fucking work, bro. Hinge does not work at all. Like, literally at all. Oh, that girl's cute. You know when you're on Hinge and you see like a good girl, but then her friend is the good one, not her? Yeah, that just happened. What do I think the bottom price will be? I don't know, man. Like, I'll tell you what I like. Here's my favorite play, okay? I'm gonna tell you my favorite play. My favorite play, because right now we're allowed to come all the way down to 38K while still remaining bullish on the weekly time frame. My favorite play is in 1 week. We have a huge SFP down to like 32K. This is my favorite play. I love this play. If this happens, I'll be happy and I'll be bullish. If that happens. We'll see. I like that though. Can't wait to see me conquer ES and NQ. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Do I check my Tinder? I'm on Hinge actually. Get 100K for 45. Yeah, I'm going to. I didn't time you out. Maybe one of the mods didn't like what you said to me. Maybe you were being mean. Yes, I do have the Palau ID. Alts, trade alts. Man, I don't know. Like, I do trade alts. I do trade alts. I do trade alts. Bro, what did I just say? What did I just say? What did I literally just say? I just said it wasn't me that banned you or blocked you. Maybe one of the mods didn't like what you said. So now, see, now I'm going to have to get a little bit snippy. Now you say one more stupid thing. I'm being very respectful. I've been very respectful. We're very calm. We're having a conversation. Now I'm giving you a warning. Say one more dumb thing and you're going to be hidden from the channel forever. Simple as that. We're all being respectful here. Okay? Don't be a fucking asshole. And I don't need to be an asshole back. Very simple. What's the funded account? Who is funding it really? Man, it's basically like it's actually a genius marketing plan because you pay to get a demo account. If you fail the demo account, then you don't get your money back. So they get paid cash. Then they get paid 90-10 payout, like 90%, 10% payout. So whatever, let's just say you make $1 million, they get paid 100K. So they get funds from that, and all the funds just recycle to other people. Right? There isn't, the only time that they lose is if you get a funded account and then you lose their money. You know? That's the only risk that they have, but they make way more than they lose because in order, like, it's such a genius like business plan. Yeah, they don't work, bro. They don't work. Tinder and shit is not how it used to be. CME gap below 53. Yeah, I'm aware. SFP is swing failure pattern. It's basically a liquidity grab like what I just drew on the channel. Can I look at TRX? Oh, man, my mouse is all the way over there. I can't even reach it right now. CPI data today. So price to short 59.5. I mean, if it gets there, I don't know. Do I use EXO? No, I don't. I tried to use it. And I've gotten better a little bit with it. I'm not great with it. I'm not great with EXO charts, to be honest. I'm okay with it sometimes, but other times I'm not. And I can't put my money down on okay with it sometimes and other times not. I need it to be I'm good with it always. Oh, I see this on CF's channel. 800 to do the trial. Well, if you want 100K, if you want a 100K account, you pay 800. But then when you pass it, you don't pay again. It's actually a good, like, it's a good, like, thing, bro. I stand by the prop firms. I think it's a win-win, man. They make a lot of money off you. However, you get access to a lot of money if you know how to trade, you know? I do think, because normally your $800, you would need to, like, crank up the leverage on that, like 100x, where your liquidation would be mad close and you'd have less margin of error than you can with just using their funds. And it's really smart because this is what they do, man. It's actually crazy. It's crazy how smart. They advertise it as you get 100K and it's 5x leverage. So you get, listen to how smart this is. Listen to how smart it is. They give you 5x leverage. Look, it's actually genius and nobody thinks of this. It's kind of like not a scam. It's not a scam. I'm not saying it's a scam. It's like they're playing with the business model, okay? Look at what they do. Let's just say they fund you for 100K, okay? They need to load up your account, right? They're not putting 100K in your account because they're giving you 5x leverage. You can use up to $500,000, right? So you have $500,000 of gunpowder, right? But let's just say they don't want to put 100K in your account, which they don't put 100K in your account. What they do is they limit you on 5x. They limit you on 5x leverage. And what they'll do is they'll put in, for example, I don't know, 25,000 in the account, not 100. And they raise their leverage internally up to whatever that number would be. What is that? 25x, 50x, 10x, 20x, 20x, 20x. Let's say it's 20x, okay? So Your leverage is capped at 5. You think you're getting 100. You're actually getting less. They're just cranking the leverage on their funds while still giving you the same amount that you think you're getting to. And you might think, oh, but Geo, the liquidation would go closer. That is correct. It does go closer. However, your account gets breached if you lose like 3,000 or 4,000 or whatever, based on their conditions. So your breached amount comes before the liquidation amount here. It's fucking genius. It is so genius. The business plan is so genius. And no one thinks of it like this. I guarantee you guys didn't think of it like this. Or some of you didn't. I just thought, no one taught me this. I just thought, I'm like, how is this happening? This is how it's happening. Exactly this. It's fucking genius. This business model, man, they make so much money out of it. Because they don't need that much cash flow to give you. They don't need the funds to give you as much as you think that they need to give you. They're not putting 100K in your account. They're putting 20K. They're cranking the leverage on their end, and their invalidation rules stops like you from getting liquidated based on the leverage that they give you. So they just take the cash in and they're borrowing it out, but it's not even close to as much as advertised, really. It's a win-win for all parties, dude. It's literally a win-win. Yeah, and then you keep, like, they don't lose. They, you know. What is it like to live in Canada? It's cold. Yeah, I'm from Toronto. So you have to trade a demo account. You have to pass the rules. And then when you pass the rules, then they give you a real account. You got to do it again. Man, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna check like Cardano or Tron or anything. We're just chilling. I'm gonna get off soon. I don't really feel like doing TA. Yeah, it's a win-win, bro. It's a win-win. That's why I said, like, it's not a scam. Scam is not the right word, but it's like a little deceiving. But it's like, it's a win-win. Like, it's not like it affects you. It's like the biggest win-win. It's so good. What is ETH doing? Is ETH at fucking 0 yet? Man, I'm gonna tell you guys something. ETH, you gotta be careful with ETH. ETH is if we start breaking down here on ETH, I'm just saying, you know. I think ETH will make its way to $1,800. I think when Bitcoin goes to 43, ETH will come down to 1,800. Aave is pumping. Yeah, Aave's been pumping. We had a nice short from Aave and then a nice long. I didn't take it, but good analysis. Easy. Thanks for the stream. Drop a like, friends. Anyways, peace out. Appreciate you. F the haters. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for spending the whole stream here, man. You were here from the beginning, I swear. So thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, brother. Have a good night, man. Or a good day or whatever you are. Shout out from Vaughn. Let's go to Wonderland. Cool shades. Thank you. It's because I can't sleep, so someone in the Discord recommended me them, and I'm trying it out because I can't sleep. Don't think there's enough money for them to pump that much. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Shout out from Vaughn. Yeah, we're gonna go to Wonderland. Me, you, and Alex O'Crypto. Alex O'Crypto. Anyways, guys, I'll holler at you guys later. I think it's time. My throat is getting all scratchy. I need to sleep. I'm tired. We had a good... This was actually a nice stream. It was a nice, chill, relaxing stream. I actually really enjoyed it. And so I thank all of you for spending the time with me here. We've been live for like 3.5 hours. So, yeah, thank you for hanging out, man. And I don't know when I'll go live again. Oh, you're in Georgetown. Yeah, fuck Brampton. Fuck Brampton, bro. Anyways, yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I don't know when I'll go live again. Probably this week. I am gonna start live streaming again during the day, during New York, so we can get some trades in. No, I'm not Italian, but I do DJ and MC weddings, and I'm in Vaughan like every weekend, bro. Like literally every weekend. I swear it's only Italian motherfuckers that are getting married. Every single weekend I'm in Vaughan. Every single one. Yeah, it was a nice stream. I actually really enjoyed this stream. And it was a nice stream to come back to after like 10 days of hiatus. But anyways, everybody, have an amazing night. Trade safe, please. Be good. Geo, if I struggle sleeping, eat lettuce and a whole lettuce before trying to sleep. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for that tip. I will definitely try it out. I am like a bunny in that I love lettuce, so maybe I will try it out. Anyways, good night, everybody. Trade safe. Be safe. I'll see you soon. To my Nexus people, I'll see you soon. To everybody else, the links are in the description down below for anything and everything that you need to find me on. Sometimes I tweet funny stuff. Sometimes I tweet informative stuff. So follow me on X. Follow me and join the Discord. The Discord's free, and then you can decide if you want to join the Nexus. Aside from that, my friends, I actually have an outro song, but the outro is a little bit fucked up at the moment. So I have to fix it, but we're going to listen to the outro anyways, okay? It's going to be a black screen for like 20 seconds, and then the outro, I have to just fix it, okay? But new outro. See you guys. Good night.
Yeah.